sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the latest Elite FPL podcast with myself, Steve-O, for about the 20th day in a row. It does feel like summer. If everybody was there during the summertime when it was just myself, seemed to be streaming every single day throughout. Yeah, I've been streaming continuously now for God knows how many days. I think it's only been 3, Steve. I think you're exaggerating. But no, it does feel like I've been streaming a lot of late. And for anybody that's watched the special members-only Playmaker video, you would have seen me talking about the last game week. Also my, let's be honest here, my frustrations about what's not going right for me, but with the odd F-bomb here or there. I'm not going to talk about the last game week because it's a complete waste of time and no one cares. All we care about is game week 27, which is approaching us. And yeah, if you do want to get my my full thoughts on what's been going on over the past several weeks or so, by all means, for a quick plug, just become a member for $4.99 just as a one-off payment, and you'll be able to just see me ranting for about half an hour again, because for whatever reason my computer seems to be flashing up all kinds of colours, and for anybody that does streaming, you'll understand exactly what I mean. If not, then that is completely alien talk to yourselves. But from my point of view, it basically means that the quality of this show is going to be absolutely pants if it continues like so. But as it stands, everything seems to be going smoothly as we speak. I do want to do a quick bit of admin. It's not the usual hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that malarkey. No. This is a more important one. This is the important one. And up on screen right now is this. It's what Jason put up on Twitter at Elite FPL. Hey guys, our app is now live on the Play Store. Please help support us by downloading and which allows you to keep up to date with the show, and the link is in the description. So if you're unaware, Jason, incredibly, again, his skill levels just keep shining through. I was about to do an XFM reference there, Mr. Reed. Shiny. There we are, Mr. Reed, that's for you. But yes, the app is something that Jason has created with his incredible hard work behind the scenes. He's created an Elite FPL app, and you know what? I really like it. I'm not going to lie. This is the... I'm now doing the old promoting our own stuff as if we're sponsored by somebody, but genuinely, I have actually been using the app specifically for the captaincy poll. I just find bits like that quite interactive, really. Just essentially, there we are. There's the old. I know it's a terrible screen, that, but surprise, I wasn't even logged onto the internet on my phone. But yeah, I do like some of the features on the app which are applicable to me, i.e. the captaincy poll. Always quite interesting to know who people are captaining, who have got the app, obviously, and people are part of the community. And the predictions, it's a lot more easier for myself to access. For me, regarding the predictor game, which of course, here we go. If you want any tips, this is the show to be on, because the only thing that I can do well at is predicting games. So any better betting men out there, or women, there aren't any. If there are any betting people out there, I highly recommend you just simply listen to me, because it's the only thing that I get right this season. However, if you're wanting FPL tips, clear off, because you ain't going to be getting any here, because I am absolutely useless at this game. But I'm going to be bringing someone on shortly that's having a worse season than me. So, in fact, there are two people that are having a worse season than me. So this is going to make me feel a bit better. But really, we're all in the top. You know what? I don't even know where I am. I think it was like 900,000. It's absolutely hilarious. But so let's just quickly say hello to the few people that are joining us this early afternoon. FPL Booner, I see you're going to be captaining Mane. I suggest you change that, because that's exactly who I'm captaining. So put it back on Salah. Sultan Saeed, Charlie's here. Sean Babram, I don't know why I get your name confused. It's not exactly difficult to pronounce. Babram. Moet, Friday morning tea in the office with podcast on headphones. Well, hopefully myself, Llama, and Dan, when he joins us later, can keep you entertained for the next 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours. Llama's probably going to go into panic mode now. Paulie's here, Faraz, Padrag, FPL Aguero. Heard you on the Hangouts, and that's what I'm going to be talking to Dale Llama about when we bring him on in a second. FPL Aguero there. Armand Dillon's here. Good evening, Armand Dillon. Doing ever so well in the Elite FPL Cashman League. You're one of the outstanding performers. Alpine FPL. It seems Steve-O gets Burnley results right every time I hear these predictions. That's because I know the team inside out. And I was quite surprised that Jason last night predicted 1-0 to Burnley. That ain't going to be happening. We ain't going to be keeping a clean sheet against, Bournemouth. No chance. But I am predicting us to win. There's your little tip there. Dread FPL afternoon, my friend. Francis, Logan, Yassine, I haven't seen you for a very, very long time. You've abandoned us. Bilal, Steve-O's going to be roasting Llama Dan. Oh, I ain't going to be roasting them. I'll be far from that. We'll be joining in about what we hate about this game. But once again, I do want to make this quick point, and I don't want to keep banging on about it because I know how frustrating it can be repeating myself. If this stream is having issues, can you please let me know immediately, because I'll happily just end it. I can just turn the computer off, and I can just restart all again. But to be honest with you, everything seems absolutely pucker. Salah, hello mate. Afternoon, my friend. I do also want to bring up on screen as well, Andy, if you're listening, I'd like to think you are at some point, the old Discord community team. This is the Elite FPL community team up on screen at the moment. You've done your transfers. You've done it. You were 0.1 short. 0.1 short of bringing in Doherty. So, so what I will say is that we discussed briefly, literally just a message, that we're going to just bring in Bowley instead of Doherty. So you brought in Fernandes and Bowley in for Fleck and Sidibe. Quite simple, most basic transfer possible. And there it is up on screen. Your captain in Salah. So there we are indeed. Afternoon, Tobias. Oh man, Dylan, you seem to be the only one that's got the issue. Maybe it's your internet. Very unlikely. But yes, I'm going to bring on the how did my spell check pronounce it? The Daki Llama. That's why I don't use my phone. And again, watch the video if you don't understand that reference on the members video. But yeah, let's bring on the Daily Llama. Let's start chatting about. To be honest with you, I want to talk about the Llama Lounge. I need to get on air myself. Let's bring on the Daily Llama. Hello, Llama.
I've got a bone to pick with you. So you start off mid-afternoon calling me the Ducky Llama. That's a nice start. Then you just roast me before you bring me live on air about how bad a season I'm having. I don't know. I was going to come on singing a song all about you. And then I thought, no, to hell with that. How are you? You all right?
Well, let's put it this way. When I heard let's be honest here. I want to talk to you about the Hangout, the Llama Lounge. I think it's a wonderful concept, but I'm going to give you my feedback live on air. So, here we go, everybody.
All right, okay. Yeah, you've already put me down twice. The thing's not coming, please.
No, I think no. In all seriousness, I think the Llama Lounge is fantastic. As a listener, so this is going to sound so weird, but it's not. So when you already know the result of what's happened, and then you listen to a podcast, whatever, reacting to that specific match that happened X amount of days ago, it's always fascinating listening to the people watching the game about how they're talking about specifically what will happen. You had FPL Boona talking about his betting. I was genuinely at work thinking, please get that yellow card. Let somebody get that yellow card, unfortunately. And all you kept hearing was Boona saying, it's gone down to 20 quid. Now it's 18 quid. Now, yeah, you get the idea of that. It was just fascinating insight into like how the psychology of the mind works. And then Lewis Kirkby came on, and it was one of those moments where I was like, I need to tell this person now that he's incorrect in what he's saying, but I couldn't because I was just listening back. And Lewis was talking about the fact that I was happy that Aguero was going to blank or something, and I think he was confused by what I was saying. So what I wanted to happen was the Man City game to be cancelled, so that somewhere down the line Man City would get some form of double game week, and it would just mess up everybody's plans.
I was praying that was going to happen.
Oh, I was I would have been loving life. I would have been found absolutely hilarious because then I would have just had, along with everybody, Salah captain. But for people like yourself, tell us, why would you have found it interesting for the City games who have been cancelled?
Because, right, as you kind of quite rightly pointed out, although there's method in the madness, you start off the season really bad. You get yourself into the kind of 1.5 million type range, and then all you see is lots of green arrows all the way to May. And that's all I've been seeing the last 4 game weeks. But if that game had been called off, that would have been an even bigger green arrow for me. With the amount of people that have tripled up on City, and I'm like you, I was thinking, yep, I can get double City in on a double game week, not a problem. But then, no, City bought their way out again, managed to buy their way in and say, oh, come on, we'll play it. Even though everyone was saying, no, you're not allowed. We've got to give them all 2 weeks off. No, not City. If you're Man City, you can buy anything. So they said, let's buy our way in and we'll play the game on the Wednesday. Yeah, no probs. What? So that was that. So anyhow, not to worry. Aguero blanked and I was happy as punch.
Is Davey P, one of the more talkative on the Llama Lounge. It's absolutely hilarious. And another thing that I was cracking up at when I was listening to this is because people like Charlie, in fact, so Lewis was actually defending me. He was, I don't know how I could describe it really, but Charlie was saying, I can do his accent. Steve-O is going to be not very happy with that. I can do the Bristolian accent, and I was he was like, oh, he's going to be so angry with that. He's going to be fuming. He's going to be raging. I can't wait for him to be doing that. And I wasn't. I was just, as you saw on my reaction, I was just absolutely dejected because it was just absolutely.
If it wasn't 2 a.m, you would have threw that PS4 controller off the wall.
There's a moment.
Just be honest. It's fine.
There's a moment.
You're amongst friends here. It's fine. You can just be honest. Just don't swear because you're live. But you can be completely honest. I seen you sitting there wrapped up in your nice big fluffy dressing gown, biting your tongue, gritting your teeth, and wanting to launch that controller straight through the wall that you were sat next to. But but we also knew it was 2 a.m, so you just couldn't do it.
The funny thing is that sometimes, like when I re-listen back to my streams and everything, I genuinely do it to be objective about what's going on, about just being constructive criticism towards myself and Jason to see how we can improve on everything.
Of course, that's what it's all about.
Obviously, I'm going to speak to you privately regarding the Llama Lounge about taking it forward because I do have some very interesting points to bring up with you. Nothing negative, by the way. It's all good, I can assure you. And I've completely lost track of what I was saying. Oh, yes, and I was explaining the fact that something to do with the volume. Now, people that don't do streaming or anything will not have a clue what I'm doing, but I can adjust my audio level, so I'm going to deliberately do this right now. So I'm going to continue speaking, and as you will notice, my voice has gone very, very quiet indeed. In fact, you probably won't be able to hear me at all, and I'm speaking at the normal level like I am now. There we are. It's all back to reality, and you can all hear me perfectly loud and clear, even though I'm speaking at the same level. Well, the other night, I was literally whispering. I was the same distance away from the microphone, but I was literally whispering what was going on. But there was this moment, and it was also during the... Was it the Aguero hat-trick when I threw the elf?
Oh, yeah, it might have been.
That moment, along with the other night when... I can't even remember what happened, but I slammed something on my bed. It's hilarious. Like, I don't even know it's me on screen. I can't express to you how bizarre it is watching myself. Well, I don't even watch. I listen back to the streams, and you just can't believe it's you.
It's the ultimate warrior in you coming out.
Yeah. But it's, as I explained in my members, the Playmaker video yesterday, it's... In fact, I'll ask you. Do you think, or are you surprised at how controlled I am, so to speak, without swearing, considering now you're doing these llama lounges, and let's be honest here, it's just F-bombs left, right and centre. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
Right, so first things first though, first thing that we have to address is that yes, it's the Llama Lounge, but I can do my best to try and keep our language to an appropriate level, but the views of people that come on from our Discord are their own views. So that's what the Llama Lounge is all about. I can't get them to hold back. So that's why when I've been uploading them, I've been ticking, the under 18s, better buy like earplugs or something to mute some of it. But it's hard for me being a Scotsman because swearing just rolls off the tongue for Scottish folk, and that's not us being bad. I mean, we can make swearing sound great, and compliment someone with an F-bomb. That's just how our language works up here, But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the Llama Lounge. It's good, and it's good to get us all in there at one time. The two that we've done have just been watch-alongs. It's even worse. There is a bad point, and the bad point's when Dre comes on, and it's not cause of Dre, but cause his internet's run by hamsters. He's about an hour behind everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like a triple delayed reaction, because if I'm streaming, I have to watch it on the Sky app, which is fine, but that's about 15-20 seconds behind live, which is not bad. But Dre he's a good 2 minutes behind. So you do get bits of that, but hey, it just adds to the value.
Yeah, it's fascinating when I listen to it, because a lot of people seem to... That's stuff. I won't say this privately. I'll say it now. Okay. And this isn't negative. This is positive. But I'll keep their names out of it. Certain individuals, it blows my mind how good they are on the microphone when they know they're not on YouTube. I think that hearing some of the people that were part of the Llama Lounge, and by the way, for anybody that have a flaming clue what myself and Daily Llama are talking about,
the Daily Ducky. It's the Daily Ducky for this Friday only.
We are talking about the hangout. This is right, isn't it? It's essentially the hangout section, but there's a separate section for you, isn't there, Llama?
Yeah, so the thing is, Steve, as I say, the first two have just been kind of like test streams and they've been watch-alongs, but you're totally right. So Discord members, typically we'll be in the hangouts during the day, 24 hours a day, because I think Boona mentioned it. When we set that Discord up, I think the first few days there was maybe about 20 of us in there, and I'm sure he said it's up to about 2,000 people now, maybe over that or something bizarre.
1,200.
Which is crazy. 1,200. But even still, it's 24/7, so there's always people chatting, in the hangouts, which is great. So the Llama Lounge idea was to get the people that are normally in those hangout chats and just bring them live.
Yep.
And then we can get it uploaded to YouTube, all that type of jazz. So the watch-alongs are great because I'm happy to have like almost, like a full house type. It's like a kitchen party. That's what it's like, Steve. It's like being at a kitchen party. But as we move things forward, it could be more one-on-one, like what you and I are having now, and it could be around a particular... So for me, it would be the Elite Champions League, for example, especially as we're moving in towards the knockout phases. Try and do that on a weekly basis. It could be, we could have a whole hour on VAR. If someone wanted to come on and debate about it, I'll happily defend it, and someone can come on and debate against it. There's so much that I can do with it. But it's just great to have you and Jason supporting it. And the guys, obviously, and girls that are out there listening.
Yeah, so going back to what I was saying regarding this Llama Lounge, what I find, and going on what you've just said, what I love about it is there are certain individuals that are in the chat now, and they come out of their shell, and it's like the easiest way for me to explain it is this. So if you go into the Big Brother house, and for any kids that are watching this, Big Brother was essentially a Channel 4/5 programme where 15 housemates that didn't know each other went into a house and were just filmed 24/7 for 12 weeks. Anyway, well, the first day / the first 24 hours, they were always wary about the cameras. They knew where they were and everything. But by like day 4, it was just so natural to them that they just acted normal. They didn't feel the pressure of a camera on them. And certain individuals I found just fascinating on the Llama Lounge, because there were so many times when the line, is this going out on YouTube? Are we going to be going on YouTube, coming out? And I was thinking, don't stop talking because you're going to be going on YouTube. This is gold dust. Like, I find it absolutely fascinating hearing 8 or 9 people. Yeah, okay, there's a bit of convoluting here or there, but give or take, when it's yourself, Boona, Davey P, that the 3 of you predominantly having a conversation with each other and just chipping in with the odd bit of trivia here or there and talking about the game and whatnot. It's just fascinating. And especially for me, when you listen to these streams back and you know what's happened, and I said when we first started this conversation, you hear the psychology about how people think, and it kind of makes me feel, I nearly swore then, it makes me feel normal. Because people, because I remember, I'm sure it was Boona or Davey P or yourself, I can't remember, one of you, I'm sure it was Boona actually, you said in that Llama Lounge, you said this: you should see the amount of people crowing about Aguero blanking. Now, I said in my Playmaker video, not specifically about them, but every single person that is crowing about Aguero blanking and saying, you're an idiot for captaining him, you're a fool, you should have done this and that, are the same people that would have been bricking it and saying, I'm going to be hiding behind a sofa because Aguero's playing, and I so want to swear, and I am worried, let's just leave it at that, I'm worried that he's going to get a hat-trick. I'm worried that he's going to blow up and everything. And that's what really infuriates me about playing this specific game. It's the hindsight.
There's a lot of sheep, I think, and I think from what I've found, there's a lot of really good people out there, and I've said it countless times about Elite and our channel and what goes on here in our Discord, etc. Everyone's here happy to help people out. So people will come into the new poll section, for example. Who do you think I should take out? Who do you think I should put in? And they'll put a poll up and all that type of jazz. Or they'll be in Hangouts and we'll be chatting about it verbally and all that type of stuff. It's not toxic, but there's that underlying kind of stat, if you want to bring stats into it, that from the beginning, from the get-go, there's not one of us in here has turned around and said, that's who you go to because they're spot on all the time. You know, that's the expert that's here, because none of us are experts. We're just people that have got together because we enjoy it. And then out of enjoying a game, we've kind of, we've got that banter as mates would have. You know what I mean? So we've went way beyond FPL, although that's what always draws it back. But we'll have countless chats about various other stuff now, not just FPL. And that's because of what you, Jason, and Dan started. If you then take that and then have a look now at some of the Twitter stuff that goes on, some of the stuff in there is toxic. And folk will slate you for some of the moves that you're going to make. With us, it's more a ribbon. Especially Boona and Davey P, the ribbons that they've been having on a week-to-week basis is brilliant. But it is just that, although it's it can get a little bit meaty at times. But in general, it's just really good bants that they're two, especially those two are having.
I did laugh at that hilarious moment when Dan come on and was like... Either Davey P or Boona took it... I don't know if they took it seriously or not. But he goes, hey, Flapjack, and Gravy Dave, hello, mate, and it's Rule 12G, Madrid, Sumesh, good afternoon. There was this moment where Dan came on and essentially said, God, we should arrange a YouTube boxing match between you and Davey P. And one of the two kind of took it seriously, and then Davy.
Oh, Davy P's a boxing instructor.
Oh, is he really?
That's what it was.
And then Davy P goes. The reason why I found it so funny is because I was then at that point. You are aware this is on YouTube. Is when Davy P went.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see Davy P take on J&O.
I know. And this is the thing, because I was sitting there, I was thinking, how did this get like this? I thought, this was all going swimmingly until Dan appears, and then he basically just unpinned a grenade, lobbed it in the Llama lounge, and then effed off out the back door. That's what Dan did.
It's just
But I mean, I think I would like to think that even people like your JNOs, etc., they're all going to take that in good banter.
Oh, of course,
Do you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I was just listening to it thinking, oh, this is you're naming other people, which is cool. It's funny, but it's just the thought of arranging a boxing match like KSI versus whoever the other plonker is off YouTube. I don't know, but it's just
No, Dan wanted an FPL Royal Rumble. That's what he wanted.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my God, I can arrange that. Don't worry about it. I'll be able to arrange a Royal Rumble, I can assure you. But going on what you're saying to me, Bilal, I mean, I don't want to turn this into a bit of a dark episode, but you know what? We're all here to chat. It's all a bit of a laugh. It's a live stream at the end of the day. Bilal makes a point. I can understand your anger, Steve. For example, Andy from Let's Talk FPL has got so much abuse. Oh, yeah, blimey, I stick up for Andy so much in my videos.
Yeah.
Gets so much abuse as people expect him to do so well constantly, which is unrealistic expectations. People like to analyse YouTube decisions as they know they won't directly slate you back. It is unfortunately the online mentality. Again, I'm not going down the route of about the world of online abuse or whatever, because it's not my place to talk about other than a Playmaker video. No, because in all seriousness, I've already spoken about a lot of that, and I think it's we want to make this a bit of a light-hearted
disgusting. Just say it. That's your phrase.
Yeah. I was talking to psychology, Vince Chapman. I was actually having a very interesting conversation with my brother regarding the psychology of using.
What are you going to say?
No. It's nothing bad. It's about the fact that if a let's just say catchphrase becomes popular with an individual that's, in my case, a host of a show, then people like yourself or whatever will always use the line disgusted, or James Bang will always say bunch of clowns, and then I get a lot of people in chat will be like, oh, come on, Steve-O, do the catchphrase, which is, whatever it may be, and I get absolutely sick to death of my own catchphrases. Despite everybody uses them, I now just avoid using them, and then I seem to reinventing or inventing new catchphrases for people to latch onto. So, it's all fun and games and whatnot. But
it's good. It's all good.
But no, overall, in all seriousness, for anybody wondering what on earth we're talking about the Llama Lounge at the moment while we've got the Daily Llama on. And what I also want to talk to you about, Llama, is the Champions League in a second. But essentially, everybody, the Llama Lounge is for all you guys during a match. As of now, when a match is on and we're not live streaming. Again, it's going through its test phases, and I will speak to Llama afterwards about my thought processes on this, because I know it's got a lot of Llama legs. But I think that...
Well, that's good, because a llama's got 2 more legs than what a duck has.
And it is just essentially anybody that wants to watch a game or listen in to a bunch of people talking about the game on the Discord Hangout channel, but I'm sure there's a specific area on there. Is there a specific area, Llama? There is, isn't there?
It's right underneath where we are now. So,
well, cool. I'll bring it up on screen then for everybody. There we are. Yeah. So let me just
so basically just created that there, and just followed the same principle that you and Jason follow. If you want to come in, if you see me in there and you want to come in, then just join the waiting room. and then we just
right,
but typically what we've been doing is just dragging everybody in.
Yeah, but that's
and
what
you
I
do
want.
and you do get people that come on muted because they're quite happy to just listen to what's going on in the background, which is fine because obviously each to their own. I'd prefer it if everyone in there was chipping in to whatever the conversation is, but I'm not there to force anyone's arm. But yeah, that's what we'll do. We just kind of get everyone in.
Yeah, and I find it really enjoyable. The more people, the better. The more encouragement we want to give to people to join in on the fun of the watching the game and just being part of an audience. And then you're going to be broadcast live to the amount of people that want to listen in. And like I said, from my own personal point of view, when I listened to it this morning, 2 hours just disappears. It just vanishes because you know what happens in the game, and you just enjoy what.
Yeah, that was the thing that kind of when I listened back, I was like, "Oh, Stevie, you're such a tit," and it was right at the team lineup, already knowing that it wasn't going to be going out on YouTube till about 1:00 in the morning. So by that point, everyone knew who was playing for City and West Ham and what the result was. But, you just have to kind of take it at that.
Yeah,
but it was funny listening back, though.
It's funny because talking of Man City Champions League, which we'll get onto now, because obviously this is your baby, you're the one that knows everything about it, and I'll just ask a few questions regarding it. But what made me laugh is that Ryan Seachin, I know you're a regular watch and contributor to the show, and he was my opponent. And if that Man City game had been cancelled, then I would have won. If Mahrez, so you guys on the Hangouts, the lounge, you're all talking about will Mahrez come on, and all I was doing throughout the whole thing was going, nope. And do you want to know why I was constantly saying that? It's because Ryan had Mahrez as captain. Who did he have as vice captain? Kevin De Bruyne, and I was just,
wow.
Yeah, I could not believe it. I was just like in absolute bits, But yeah, overall, you've been impressed with the Champions League, how it's all... Obviously, the daily Llama, the Elite FPL Champions League we're talking about for anybody that's getting a bit confused, like Dan did the other day. We're talking about the Elite FPL Champions League. Is there any surprises that you thought, blimey, I thought you'd be doing that? Someone off the top of my head straight away is Davey FPL. He's not doing that great, is he?
No, I've not actually had I think, so the first thing that I have to say, though, is a massive thank you to Firetog, because what he's done is flown with the idea, put algorithms into the, into the spreadsheet, if you like, to make it less manual and more automatic. And he's helped a mass ton. So just want to say a massive thanks to Firetog first and foremost. So he's went in already and updated it. So obviously that's it now in tune for this game week. What I'm surprised at, I know what you're saying about some people not doing so well. Look at Boona, for example. And sorry, Boona, because I know that you're in here, pal. He's bottom of his league with 3 points. Yet, OR ranking, he's doing all right. Do you know what I mean? And that's what not that I enjoy seeing Boona bottom of a league, obviously. DVP's loving it. But it's these things that I like about the setup of the Champions League, because they're just head-to-head matches, and we all know that anything can happen on a week-to-week basis. So it's stuff like that people can get caught out on. But even at this moment in time, though, Steve-o, we're looking at, 16 groups, something like that? There's only a couple of groups. So Brew, and I'm not going to bum him up, because, Brew joined the live stream as soon as KDB scored, didn't he? Because that was him now 18 points in his Champions League. But no, fair play. Brew's obviously having a decent season, and he's sitting there with 18 points. There's only 2 groups, maybe 3 at the most, that are like that. All the other groups, there's only 3 points separating, like, first, second, and third. So there's some groups that will go straight to will go down to the wire, and that's why I'm keen to do a podcast weekly just purely on the Champions League, because it's getting really, really close. Like, I thought, I don't know about you, but I just thought some people would just, like what Brew's done would have just ran away with it, and it was going to just be a battle of second place and who was going to make the knockout phases. But it's not like that at all. There's so many groups where people are sitting there on 12 points, but third, fourth, and fifth place are all on 9. I wasn't expecting that, if I'm being honest. So no, yeah, it's good. What about you? How are you finding it?
I'm not gonna lie. I take an interest in who I'm facing, and then I also check to see where I am ranked. But it will always be the case. It will always be the case.
Right. So you're sitting fifth now on 7 points, yeah.
Oh, is that the case now?
Yeah, so that's it. Well, hey, you started off by slagging me on 2 points before I even came on the day. So if I'm going to just hit you where you're on 7 points in fifth, right? But you're only 2 wins away from, like, first place is 13. So you're only 2 wins away from that. So you could easily get through.
I thought the group stages was only 6 games, or am I completely wrong here?
I think you are wrong, but I'm just going to triple check it.
Oh,
now
really?
Yeah.
Well, I did not know that. I apologise. How many
10 matches there are. Yeah. So we've just finished game week 26, which was match 6. So you got 4 games left, and you're only
fantastic.
6 points, and you're only 6 points away from first. And first and second in your group are on 13 points each. So there's nothing in your group either.
Yeah.
Apart from what's his name, Drake, who's at the bottom on 0. He might find it a little bit tough.
And if it hadn't been for the misfortune of, in my case, Ryan having Mahrez as captain, of course, Kevin De Bruyne as vice, then I would be on 10 points and he'd be on, I think, 7 or whatever it is. So I'd actually be...
But I mean, like, take a look at, like, your pal, right? Your best mate, your good rival in our Jason. So he's sitting top of his group on 12 points, along with John Harris, who's also on 12 points. Third, fourth, and fifth place in that group are all on 9.
And that's the group of death.
And there's nothing in that. And then if you look at Group N for November, which is the group that Shaban's in and FPL Aguero's in, the top 4 places are all on 12 points. That's madness.
It's absolutely crazy. Is there a team that, or a player that sticks out in your, off the top of your head now, where you're a celebrity wise, that you're quite surprised? Talking of Fire Talk afternoon, Power just been slagging you off. No, we're just talking about the Champions League, Fire Talk, and the hard work that you've put into it, creating this wonderful Champions League along with Llama. Really do appreciate the hard work that you've done for us. Welcome to the stream, pal. FPL Tips, welcome as well, dude. Yeah, is there a celebrity that you're quite surprised at not doing that great?
Oh, there's a few that are doing well. FPL Nymphrea, for example, is bottom of Group I on 3 points. We've got... Yeah, there's a few of them that are not doing...
She's not issue overall rank either.
Yeah, but there's still lots of time to come back. I mean, Tips, you're just saying there, I'm not looking at the stream just now just because I've got this sheet in front of me, but FPL Tips is sitting there on 7 points in 4th place, but he's only 5 points away from 2nd place. So there's nothing in his group either. Looking at some of the other celebrities, Andy, Let's Talk FPL, sitting there on 6 points. 2nd place, that's the group that Vince Chapman's top of. He's on 16. So he's 10 points clear of Andrew from Let's Talk FPL. And it just shows you, it's just head to head, and that's what I like about it. So I think there's going to be a lot of upsets happening.
Charlie saying, John Harris had Mahrez captain and Son vice captain. What a git. Bilal saying, Steve-O, do all the FPL... In fact, I'll ask you, Llama. I know what the answer is, but I'd like you to answer it. Bilal, Llama, do all the FPL celebs in the Champions League know they are part of it?
They should do. No, of course they do. Yeah, so I say we, the royal we, the moderators of our Elite Discord were the ones that gave me a hand in reaching out to get these celebrities involved. What's been funny about it is that there was a lot of people, let's say FPL influencers. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. But these influencers, once it was locked down, there was a lot more of them wanted to be involved. So I know we can make it bigger going into next season. And there's lots of ideas already buzzing about in Discord on what to do and how to do it. So yeah, sorry, to answer the question, Bilal, yes, they know about it. However, now that we've got the Llama Lounge there, I want to use that via Twitter and obviously YouTube to get them more involved in it. And if there's a way that I can get them onto podcasts, and I know I've already reached out to a couple of them and they're more than happy to come on, that's the kind of lines that I would like to go down with it.
Fantastic. I couldn't agree more. And I mean, I didn't actually quite say, but the one reason why I take the Elite FPL Challenge League, the Cash League, and Torbay Elite one so seriously, because there's money at stake. And maybe next season, the FPL celebrities could be the ones that come on for free, so to speak, and then everybody else that wants to participate, I have to put some money into it. I don't know. That's just me speaking out loud. But I think, Llama, I don't know where Dan's gone, but I'm more than happy to
I don't think Dan even knows where Dan is.
Nor do I. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on a bit of a special guest, because I know it's very, very early in the morning, and it's Statman. Morning, Statman. Hello, Geordie. You've just been pointing a gun to my head, saying I'm in the live. I want to get on live on air. Statman, are you there?
Good morning.
Hey,
there he is.
Remind the audience where you are. Oh, well. Welcome to the AA. I think this is more depressing, to be honest with you, because we got Llama, me, yourself, all in the top 2 million.
Listen. See, can I just get this off my chest, please?
Please do. Yes. What we're here for.
4 weeks ago, I was over 1.6 million in the world.
Oh.
As of last game week, I am just above 900k.
It is.
That's not a bad rank rise.
I heard you talking about that last night, and it is an incredible rank rise, but.
Still pretty bad though, to be honest about it. But hey,
I still said to myself,
got to take the rough with this, mate.
I'm not going to lie. I still said to myself, I'm still above you. But
you keep laughing. You keep laughing. Llama's come back spitting. Remember?
Am I ahead of you, Kev? Remind me. I can't remember.
Yes, Steve, you're ahead of me. Don't rub it in.
He's okay. That's all he does. He just wants to bring people on just to put them down. I think that's what we've joined to do.
I knew I was getting a noof, but anyway.
Without Jason here, I am top of the world. So I can gloat. I can bring on. Can you stay around, Statman, for predictions?
Yeah, bro. If I mute myself here and there, it's just because the daughter will be whinging for us, but I'll hang on the whole time, yep.
And what we'll do is we'll also get on FPL Tips, another one doing atrociously. FPL Tips afternoon, another one doing atrociously.
Hello, how are we doing?
All very well, all ready for Gameweek 27, more importantly, the predictions?
For my team or matches in general?
Matches in general, this is what we got you in for. I'm not blaming talking.
I'll be at the Chelsea match tomorrow morning at 12:30.
Oh, fantastic.
Not very well. I find it quite a hard one to call with two teams very injured. At the moment. I don't know if Chelsea can get a few players back. I favour us, but not by a lot.
Yeah, we'll get onto that in about 6 seconds. And let's just quickly bring on Anish. Why not? Another one that was part of the Llama. Anish, a valued member to the Llama Lounge. Did you enjoy yourself in there? I know your mum certainly wasn't happy.
Yeah, his mum enjoys the Llama Lounge just as much as Anish does.
Just one moment, I've got someone at the door. So
Did you?
I'll grab that.
See? Can he script it? There you go. He's only in 2 minutes.
As ever, everybody, this is the the predictor show, as I like to call it, because that's all we're doing. We're just going to be predicting the games. And if you have anybody that's live on air, so in this case, FPL Tips, Anish, Statman, or Llama, if you want to throw in any form of trivia, any form of information regarding these particular matches, by all means. I'll just quickly move Anish out here for a second, because in fact I'm going to do an FPL. Oh my god, this was hilarious, Llama, when FPL Boona went really serious and he went, right then lads, if you could, if you're not talking FPL, could you please mute yourself, because it's getting really annoying.
Yeah.
And
Boona he doesn't hold back.
Boona, he's written in the team screenshots. If you get a chance to review his team, chaps, by all means. He's at the gym at the moment. He's listening in. So yes, we'll review that once we've done our predictions, Boona. But yes, like I said, it's the predictor game, something which I pride myself on. Just for a bit of fun, I do give points to. In fact, I'm going to bring on another member in 2 seconds. Once we get him on, because I know he'll have a bit to. In fact, I want to talk to him about his namesake. But yes, I just we have a bit of fun here, where you get 1 point for the correct outcome, 2 points for near enough, 3 points for bang on the money, and of course, who's winning it? You guessed it was me. But last week, James Bang, congratulations to you. A very, very high score of 13 points. So congratulations to you, coming out on top last week. So well done, James. Let's bring on Blimey. This is going to be a record today, because I'm going to be speaking to a load of people. Let's bring on. This is the Steve-O Lounge, Llama. Let's bring on King Kun, and that's Kun without a T. And I'll be bringing on Lewis Kirkby in a minute. King Kun, are you there?
Oh dear.
Hello, Kun, are you there?
Oh, hi, Steve.
Very well. Come on, tell us about Aguero, because I'm not going to lie. Your words were in my ears when you kept saying Captain Aguero at home to these absolute rubbish teams. You were in the Llama Lounge and you were absolutely dejected. How are you feeling after Aguero's blanks over the last 2 game weeks, despite him, doing all right but just not getting anything?
Well, to be honest, Steve, I was in the Llama Lounge, but I didn't want to hear anything. I was just watching the game, just praying for a goal. And it was just a disaster. It was just such a good game week to catch on people if you had done, scored a goal or something, because Salah blanked.
Yeah.
But I'm just devastated, to be honest.
Well, thankfully, game week 27 is upon us. Game week 26 can clear off. Lewis, good afternoon. Paulie?
Hello, good afternoon.
You there, Paulie? Blimey, the first time ever Paulie has been on air. He's having problems. I'll just quickly put him in the waiting room. And Lewis, all set for game week 27, all ready for the predictor game?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. The initial wildcard team that
Whoa. Slow you down there, my friend. We'll talk about your wildcard after. I'm more interested in the predictor game. Are you all set for that?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Sorry, you were just cutting out a bit. I couldn't tell what you said.
I think it's your internet. I seem to be fine with everybody apart from you, but we're going to persist. We're going to kick off with the game.
It's weird, isn't it?
The FPL Tips is out. It's Chelsea versus Tottenham, and we're going to do it in chronological order. So it'll be me first, then it'll be Daily Llama, then it'll be FPL Tips, Statman, Anish, King Kun, Paulie, and then Lewis. So I'll be starting this, and I'm sorry, FPL Tips, but I think you're going to be losing this game, and I think it's 2 atrocious teams out of form at the moment. I just think Tottenham are going to nick this in a dire game. It's going to be 1-0 to Tottenham. Llama? Llama, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, Steve. You just totally cut out there. I kind of wondered if you were coming to me there. So you're saying that Tottenham are just going to pick Chelsea?
And I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 0-0, 1-1, something like that. Tight game.
I reckon it'll be the other way about. I reckon Chelsea are going to pick Tottenham. So I'll probably go 1-0 Chelsea.
Wow. FPL Tips, you go into the game. FPL tips. Can we not have like 30 people? Am I cutting out, or is everything okay? Can everybody hear me? Anybody speak?
It does cut out a little bit, Steve-O, but it kind of
It's
holding up a
towards the
little
end
bit.
of sentences, it just drifts off a bit, so you never really know what you're asking us.
Tips, are you there? No, he's gone. He's completely vanished off the face of the planet. Okay, then let's go to someone all the way in New Zealand. Statman, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Steve. Ironically.
Yeah. So, Statman, your thoughts on Chelsea and Tottenham?
Yeah, I think I'll. You've went one way, Lama's went the other way. I'll go in the middle. I think a low scoring draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it's tight and both aren't willing to push to take the 3 points. So I'll go 1-1.
1-1, and Dan has finally arrived. Hello, Danny boy. Dan, you're only down the road. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Not you.
Dan? We'll go on.
Wow.
We'll go.
No.
We'll go on.
Hilarious, Stephen.
Hey, there he is. Dan, where have you been?
I've been out, mate. I've had to dash back, so yeah, sorry about
And
that.
yet you were the one that told me to go on live at 5 p.m. So
You probably will go live at 5 a.m, mate, so don't worry about me.
Still be on at 5 a.m.
obviously
It's like
we're
I'm
doing.
playing in the Stephen Zoo.
We're doing our predictions, Dan. Myself and Llama, and of course Statman, we all think it's going to be a very, very tight game between Chelsea and Tottenham. What do you think on the scoreline, and if you've got any thoughts on the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, Tottenham about their two best players. Chelsea coming off the back of a defeat. London derby. I think it'll be. I'm going to go 1-1.
Going 1-1 as well. King Kun?
Yeah, I just can't see how Tottenham's going to score a goal in this game, so I'm going to go with 2-0. Reece James goal.
Oh.
Come on. Oh, FPL Tips
Love
is
it.
back. His ears perk up once he is 2-0 to Chelsea. Come on, Aguero. Chelsea can barely score one goal, let alone two.
Yeah, but Abraham's back. Abraham's back.
Abraham's
Looks
going
like.
to play.
Is he? Are you sure about this?
No.
Yeah, I have a strong feeling he's going to play.
Come on, FPL Tips. You're the Chelsea fan. Tell us about this game and your score prediction.
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea win with a red card. Chelsea Spurs is always so heated every time, especially at Stamford Bridge. And the cards, Ali in the mood he's in as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he got it.
Yeah, that was very... What actually happened there? Does anybody know here what on earth Dele Alli's problem was?
Just because he had a shocking performance, I think it was. I think, obviously, he got subbed off after he literally had a 1 out of 10 performance. He played awful all game. And when he got took off, obviously, he was really mad. Mourinho addressed it in the interview afterwards. He said that it wasn't about... Mourinho said that he don't think it was him subbing him off that made him mad. It was Dele Alli's performance.
That's such a Mourinho thing to say.
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that realisation kicked in and he was like, I'm actually playing for Spurs.
But the amount of chances they had, Paulie, was amazing. The away side, what was it, Leipzig? They had a lot of chances in that game.
Yeah, Lloris played well, didn't he?
He's probably man of the match, to be fair.
Yeah.
Paulie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Hey, here he is. Paulie, your thoughts on this game and your score prediction? FPL Tips going 2-1, Statman 1-1. King Kun think it's going to be 2-0 to Chelsea. Myself and Llama 1-0 either way. And Dan's going 1-1. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm also on the 1-1 train. I think it'll just be a low scoring draw.
And Nish, are you there? Can you...
Muted.
He's muted. Yeah, I think he's muted himself. I think let's leave him there. Lewis, your score prediction on Chelsea versus Tottenham?
I'm thinking 0-0. I don't see how Tottenham are going to score a goal at all. And I think Mourinho's going to be setting up to play really defensive in this game.
I think you're
So,
right. I
yeah,
think he'll get he usually comes out with a massive big bendy bus.
Honestly, I'm thinking like he knows he's not got anyone to score the goals, so he's just going to play really defensive and prays he gets lucky. So yeah, I'm thinking 0-0.
Bridge.
This fixture hasn't ended in a draw in like 4 years.
Oh, Mourinho's going to end it.
1-1 tomorrow.
Could be 1-0 to Chelsea. I don't see a Tottenham win. It's going to be 1-0 to Chelsea or 0-0.
Yeah.
I mean, FPL tips. Can I just ask you a simple question? Just how much are you actually paying for the tickets for this game, or do you just know somebody that isn't going and you've just got their season ticket? What's the deal here?
No, so I have a season ticket.
Oh, wow.
So I go most home games. It's sort of split. We sort of share 2 between 4 of us. So I don't go every week, but most weeks.
Wow, brilliant! But you haven't exactly been having the greatest of times of late down there.
No, I've seen some cracking games. I've seen some dreadful ones. The 4-4 against Ajax in the Champions League was a pretty cracking game to see. But yeah, had its ups and downs this season.
Absolutely. Well, moving on to my team, it's Burnley versus Bournemouth. Jason last night predicted 1-0 to Burnley. I can't see us keeping a clean sheet in this particular fixture. I do think we'll win, though. I think that Bournemouth are there for the taking. I was tempted, though, by 1-1. However, I do think that we're just going to nick this 2-1. Llama?
I think Burnley are going to win 2-0.
2-0. Dan?
1-0.
Another 1-1.
That's my prediction for every game this weekend.
A lot of my predictions are pretty similar as well. There's a lot of in fact,
a lot of tight games.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I agree. I've got 4 or 5 1-0s in, and in fact, I'm predicting quite a lot of clean sheets across these fixtures. FPL tips: Burnley, Bournemouth.
I'm going to go. Might be a bit of a surprise. 3-1 Bournemouth.
Come on, where's that come from?
Where does that come from?
It seems like Bournemouth don't turn up for the games. It just seems like the type of game they're just going to pull it out of the bag out of absolutely nowhere, like they do sometimes. And Burnley, when they should perform, then won't.
Yeah, I see the thinking behind it, but them scoring 3 past us.
I think the third. It won't be like a clear 3-0, 3-1. It'll be 2-0, and then maybe a little added on one while you're trying to push for an equaliser.
We don't push for equalisers, so we don't need to worry about that.
That's true. That's true.
Statman, do you have any confidence for Bournemouth like FPL tips? Or do you think, like myself and Llama, it's going to be a victory to Burnley?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, honestly, great point.
Statman? Okay.
Sorry, bloody hell! Was I muted there, Stephen?
You didn't hear a word you said.
It's funny because the old comments about great content, etc., was perfect timing with the rhythm in my sentence. So I was like, "Oh man, they're really agreeing with us here." So I was continuing to talk. I think Burnley will shut Bournemouth out. I think they're too hardy at home. That they're too strong, and they'll muscle them out. I think 1-0 Burnley. Bournemouth not in with a
1-0 there. Wow. King Kun, what do you think on this game?
You're having to watch that. It's so hard.
FPL tip stole my result, so I'm going to change it a bit. I actually thought the same thing. I think Bournemouth 2-1. I think Sean Dyche has got the players concreting or doing something in the off-season, something. I think they're safe, so I think Bournemouth will pinch it 2-1. And I think it's not a stylistic matchup that Burnley likes. I think Bournemouth get a bit of form, and they're a team that can score goals easy. I think it's not a good matchup for Burnley this week. I'll go 2-1.
The last time you were talking like this, you had Callum Wilson on as captain, but you didn't do it, did you, mate? Do you have any confidence in him this
But
time?
he scored the following week, so he's sort of paid off for me. So I have faith. I've had faith.
Paulie!
You can probably guess my prediction already, Steve.
1-1?
1-1, yeah.
Are you and Dan going to be predicting the...
They're sat next to each other.
Maybe they're the same person.
Now, for Saturday's fixtures, the first two I've got 1-1, but the other games are not 1-1.
Neither's Dan's.
Lewis.
2-1 Burnley. I think Burnley are in red hot form, but I can see Bournemouth nicking a goal, to be fair. I can't see a Burnley clean sheet, really, for some reason. Yeah, 2-1 Burnley.
No, nor can I. Like I said, I think Bournemouth aren't in that such bad form either. They did lose to Sheffield United the last minute.
They've been scoring.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a tight
They should have had 2 in the first half. They were against Sheffield.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, playing Sheffield United is never easy, and we're not going to quite come on to them yet, but we are going to come on to what I'm going to be calling the worst game of the weekend. And I'm sorry, Geordie Kev, but it's involving your team. It's Crystal Palace versus Newcastle.
He hates Newcastle.
This has got 0-0 or 1-0 Newcastle written all over it. I've gone 0-0 because neither team, they're just awful. But I'm sure Statman will be agreeing with me on that there. Although I do see Newcastle potentially nicking it 1-0. But I've predicted 0-0, so that's what I'm going to go with. Dan?
Yeah, like I said, it'll be a tight game. Newcastle had sort of been in good form of recent. Palace up and down. I'm gonna go 1-0 Palace.
Despite the fact they can never score at home and they can never win at home, you're predicting 1-0.
Records are there to be broken, my friend. Records are there to be broken.
They are indeed.
Apart from any NSYNC records.
FPL tips?
I'll go 1-1.
So, Statman, it's your team. St. Maximin in great form since coming back. Any hope?
Yeah. There is hope, but like you say, it's two teams that are really toothless. You know, especially in recent weeks. I think I've got Julian. I've got Almiron and Lascelles, and I'm both of them are vying for one place. So I'm not sure if I'm going to back the Toon for the win or the clean sheet. But a 0-0 does scream out, Steve-O. You know. They both lack quality in the final third. I can just see it being an absolute bore draw, 0-0, which is probably going to have us playing Lascelles over Almiron, I believe.
Is St. Maximin an option to buy?
Man, he looks good. You can't deny it. He's so attack-minded, and you know he takes his shots when they're on, and he's lively as hell. But he's one of them. There's just no end product. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he'll go on a run now and a couple of these shots that are pinging wide of the post and the keepers are saving, he'll start going in. But as a player for Newcastle, I think he's definitely a good buy that they want to look to hold on, you know, in the future. But there's been nothing of it. You know, he's had lots of opportunities. He's created a load of chances, but it just hasn't been coming off for him. Will his luck change? Yeah, I wish I had him over Almiron, put it that way, because he's looked a hell of a lot better in the last few game weeks. But yeah, I just see another 0-0. Palace can be staunch at home. Newcastle can be, you know, toothless going forward. So yeah, a bore draw 0-0. I will not be tuning in, but I'd like Llama to cover it if you do a live Saturday. That's primo Llama. Content.
Yeah, I think Jason may be doing Saturday FPL Live, but please stay tuned for updates from him because I think he.
You know, Kev, that has got my name written all over it to cover.
A nice cup of Bovril down in
off for sure.
I completely agree. I was actually going to say this, Bilal. St. Maximin is Traore at the start of the season, but once he gets his shooting boots on, he will be a very good player indeed. And of course, Dread FPL making the point Maxim needs some support around him. Moving on to King Kun. Your prediction, I'm guessing that the way you're going to be predicting 3-0 to Newcastle.
Nah, this game is just I can't see anyone scoring, to be honest. You're lucky to have 3-4 shots on target. I reckon 0-0.
Paulie, another draw?
No, I've actually gone 2-0 to Palace.
Come on.
Yeah, my reason behind it, I watched the Everton and Palace game the other day, and Palace actually created quite a few chances. And with Newcastle having a few injuries in defence, I thought that they might get 2 against them. Plus, I own Zaha, so...
Yeah, I think there's FPL bias in this decision, because, again...
Yeah, I think that's most of it, yeah.
Could be proven wrong, but Lewis?
I completely see where everyone's coming from with the 0-0, but I feel like Newcastle are going to nick it 1-0. To be honest, Palace haven't kept a clean sheet in ages. I think it's about 10 game weeks now, so I don't think the streak's going to end there. I think Newcastle 1-0.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. Now then, moving on to a team in which a lot of people have a lot of their defensive assets in. It's Sheffield United at home to Brighton. And here we go again, another clean sheet from me. Because Brighton are just absolutely... In fact, I can't remember who said it in the Llama Lounge, but somebody just said that they're a bunch of... I think it may have been Charlie. In fact, it was Charlie, One Rovers vlog. It's Sheffield United versus Brighton, the frauds, and I'm going 1-0 to Sheffield United. Llama. Actually, Llama, what did you say about Crystal Palace, sorry? Newcastle?
Hey, you never asked me.
Oh, did I not? I'll ask you now.
I think Maximin is going to get maximum bonus, and Newcastle are going to get maximum points, and it'll be a 1-0 to Newcastle.
1-0 to Newcastle. So Sheffield United versus Brighton then.
2-0 to Sheffield United.
Blimey, 2-0?
Yes.
Dan?
1-0 Sheffield United. Another brick wall, another win, another clean sheet.
Yeah, Brighton, they are awful. I think too many changes for the Brighton team. FPL tip, Sheffield United, Brighton.
2-0, Sheffield United.
Another 2-0. Kev?
Yeah.
I'll go 1-0 Sheffield United. I'll agree with the boys.
King Kun.
Yeah, we all have the Sheffield assets, but I think it's going to be 2-1. No.
2-1, yeah. The form is saying 2-1 to Sheffield United.
Steve-O, have you brought in McAllister from Brighton?
Who?
The Argentinian.
I genuinely have no idea who this is. Who is he?
He was on loan at an Argentinian club for a bit.
Yeah.
What position does he play?
Midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is
from Boca Juniors.
What price is he?
5.5.
Yeah, right.
Well, based on it is Graham Potter, isn't it? The Brighton manager. Based on his rotation, and everything, he'll get one game in the next 6. So complete utter waste of time. And why have they got him? Sorry, how did they get him?
I have no idea.
They've had it for quite a bit, but all I know, it was on loan at an Argentinian league club.
Yeah, Boca Juniors.
Yeah.
That's very random.
That is extremely random.
Well, he is Argentinian.
McAllister.
Called McAllister.
Yeah,
because he's got Scottish and Irish ancestry.
Yeah.
He sounds like one of your boys. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't
But
sound
he's Argentinian.
He's Argentinian.
But now we've got you back in niche, we'll just quickly rattle through your score predictions. So what do you think on Chelsea versus Tottenham?
Sorry, you cut out, Steve.
You cut out a lot there.
Yeah.
Just quickly give us your score predictions on these games. Chelsea versus Tottenham.
1-1.
Burnley Bournemouth.
1-0 to Burnley.
Crystal Palace Newcastle.
0-0.
And now Sheffield United versus Brighton.
1-0 to Sheffield United.
Now we've caught up. Paulie.
Sorry, I was mid-sneeze then. I've gone 2-0 Sheffield United.
So you've gone 1-1, 1-1, 2-0, 2-0.
There's a pattern forming.
There's a theme to my results.
Lewis?
1-0 Sheffield United.
It does seem that a lot of people are thinking it's going to be a low-scoring victory there. Talking of what shouldn't be a low-scoring game, two teams that can't defend despite the fact that everybody seems to think that Southampton have got a better defence than Liverpool. It drives me up the wall. They're absolutely useless, along with the next team, Aston Villa, who again can't defend for their lives. But I think they're both going to cancel each other out in an exciting game, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I think they're just going to cancel each other out with a 1-1 Llama. That's Southampton versus Aston Villa.
2-1 Southampton.
2-1 Southampton.
I think you're right, though. I think they'll both score. But I still think Danny Ings is going to get a brace in this.
A brace. We'll get onto your team in a minute. Potential captaincy, I know it's been spoken about. Dan?
Southampton lost last weekend, didn't they, to Burnley? Villa lost. I'm going to go for quite an entertaining game. We're going to go 2-2.
Yeah, the form is saying that. Jason said that last night. FPL tips. What do you think of this game?
3-0 Southampton. I think those people with a
3-0?
Southampton defence might get that clean sheet. I just don't fancy Villa. I know.
You're being influenced by Boona. They're saying Shane Long hat-trick. I mean, come on. 3-0?
Yeah, Shane Long hat-trick as well.
What? That's...
Boona's in your head.
No, not 3-0. Yeah, 3-0, but not a Shane Long hat-trick.
We could be all proven wrong, but I just can't see it. Kev, do you see anything more than 3 goals, less, or what? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be 2-2. Like you say, Villa can score against anyone after putting a couple past Spurs, Grealish, and on fire. But Danny Ings, I'll back whoever said the brace for Danny Ings. Yeah, I think it'll be a good game to watch, actually. 2-2.
2-2. Anish?
I'm also going 2-2 as well.
You're going 2-2. King Kun?
Yeah, this game is a bit of a tricky game because they've got a few outs. I think Goodfall's out, Redmond's out. I think Southampton's going to lack a bit of creativity. So I'm going to go 1-1.
That's fair.
Another draw. Lots of draws here, barring FPL tips and Llama. Paulie?
Yeah, I think this game's going to be one of the best at weekend, actually. I've got 2-1 to Southampton.
One of the best with 3 goals in it.
Yeah, it don't need to be goals.
No, I
good.
This is true. I'm only joking.
No, I agree. I think that this is going to be an entertaining game, but they're just going to, in my opinion, they're just going to cancel each other out. I think there's going to be lots of shots on goal. But both teams they're crap. Let's be honest here. I'm allowed to say that one word. Lewis?
I'm going to go for a bit of a shock result. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Southampton.
Is that a shock result?
That's an entertaining game.
A Southampton win wouldn't be a shock result, but in terms of the scoreline, I think it would be.
A lot of goals.
Interesting. Well, talking of interesting results, entertaining games, I really don't think this will be one of them, though. It's the evening kickoff between Leicester versus Man City. I will be covering the game. I have no idea at what time, but that game will be covered.
I'm hoping you're going to cover it round about 5:30 when it kicks off.
The simple answer is I don't think that'll be happening, but you never know. Stay tuned for updates. It's Leicester versus Man City. I think this is going to be very, very tight indeed. And will Man City make any changes? Probably. But I think that City are going to edge this. But these games have always been tight, like 1-1, 1-0 here or there, 2-1, and that's what I see in this game. I think this is going to be very, very tight indeed, and I'm going to go Man City to edge this 2-1. But it wouldn't surprise me if it ended 1-1. Llama?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the same stats you're looking at, I think. I think it's like 2-0 back in 2017-18 it was. Apart from that, it's pretty much been one each draws. So I've just heard Ndidi's out as well. If he's out, I don't know what Brendan Rodgers is going to do. Will he park a big bendy bus? 1-1. Let's just stick it at 1-1.
Dan?
Just hoping Mahrez can do something like he did in the opposite game. Still got him in my team and he didn't play against West Ham. I'm going to go 2-0. No, 2-1 Man City.
FPL tips?
3-1 Man City.
Oofed.
God, you've predicted some high scoring games here.
I predicted a lot of goals so far.
Yeah. Statman.
I'll go against the grain. I'll go 2-1 Leicester. I think this is the game week where Vardy pulls his socks up and kickstart the running. I really do. As good as City are, that they're not good defensively, no matter how many clean sheets they've picked up. 2-1 Leicester.
Anish?
I think he got kicked out.
That was he. Okay, we'll just go to King Kun then. Will Aguero serve me and you and Lewis? Oh no, Lewis hasn't got him anymore, but me and you well, King Kun.
Yeah, I actually transferred him out. So
brilliant.
You're doing the same.
I actually think Man City is going to rotate their players. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 Leicester win.
Oh. I read that.
What is this? 2-0 to Leicester, 2-1 to Bournemouth, 2-0 Chelsea. What is this with you and random predictions of, shocks basically?
It's not random. It's just Chelsea. Chelsea's been smashed to beat Spurs this week. Spurs were hopeless against Leicester.
Chelsea are hopeless as well.
You can't pick them.
Triple captain Harvey.
Literally, they got Sissoko out, Eriksen out. Eriksen's gone. They lost 2-0 last time they played them and got outplayed on their own patch. There's no way Chelsea doesn't beat them.
Anish?
I'm going to go with 3-1 City win.
3-1.
Yes.
In answer, just before we get on to what I'm about to say. So, King Kun, you've got rid of Aguero. Who did you bring in, just of interest?
No, I've got Jimenez in.
Okay. In answer to your question, Lewis, nope, I am not selling him. I'm going to be having 2 free transfers for game week 28. Paulie?
I think both teams will score, but I think Man City will edge it 2-1.
Funny that you're following a pattern here: 1-1, 1-1, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1.
It gets better in next ones, don't worry.
and finally, Lewis.
3-1 City. But Leicester are clean out of defensive mids. They've literally not got one fit defensive midfielder. And if you look at the contrast between performances from when they had Ndidi and when they didn't have Ndidi, there's a massive difference in defensive performances. And defensively as well, it affects them in transitions. So, yeah, I'm thinking 3-1 City. I think I just transferred out De Bruyne and now I'm scared because Leicester don't have a DM and I don't know who's going to be marking De Bruyne. So,
well, I'm looking forward to you telling us about your wildcard team. Like I said, we'll do that all after we've done our predictions as we rattle through them. Now we move on to Sunday afternoon. We've got 2 games kicking off at 2 o'clock, starting with Man United versus Watford. Despite the fact that on my members video that I'm thinking that Man United at home always keep a clean sheet, just have this gut feeling that here we are, Llama, gut feeling that Watford are actually going to score in this game. But I do think United are going to edge this, and I'm going to go 2-1 to your boys, Llama, Man United.
Yeah, that's what I would put down as well. 2-1.
Dan?
I can't disagree with that.
Dan?
Yeah, return of the Igalo, maybe, to haunt Watford. I'm going to go 2-0 Man United and Martial to Hall.
Did you hear that nonsense that Solskjaer come out with? That he was asked about Igalo, whether he'll start or not, and he said, "Oh, Mason Greenwood's got a chance." I just thought, nearly swore then. I just thought, clear off.
Yeah.
Just shut up. You won't start.
He's
Mason
been saying that
Greenwood.
all season.
And yeah, to say that, I just thought that's just insulting the kid. To be honest with you, FPL tips: Man U versus Watford.
I'll go 1-0 United. I don't see Watford scoring.
Yeah, would not 1-0, 2-0. Yeah, I agree.
I think you'll find the Corey's going to score.
Yeah. Yeah, playing in that advanced role. Yeah, who knows? Could be bullying Maguire there. Statman, your thoughts?
Yeah, I see United keeping a clean sheet here. 2-0, I'll go. Bruno to finally get his first goal.
That's the fourth 2-0 in a row here. Anish?
I'm going to go 1-0 to United.
God, this is looking hopeful for my Brandon Williams pick here. King Kun?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester United and Martial to prove that he's the best player under 8 million.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. Here we go, Paulie. You said you were going to surprise us. Go on.
3-0 Man United.
Oh, that's not a surprise. Come on, 3-0.
Yeah, just in
that is a surprise.
You were saying about Solskjaer. Did you hear what else he said in the interview last night?
Go on.
They played the weaker team, didn't they? And he blamed the pitch for Man United not being able to play football. And now, like, it's them players that can't play football.
Well, you're the United fan. I mean, there's Lewis, Llama here. I mean, it's just been a shambles, hasn't it, this season?
Yeah, I don't think
we had to play Lingard as a second striker yesterday.
But he's got youth on his side.
He could have played Igalo yesterday.
No, that's what I mean. I made a tweet about it.
Why didn't he play Igalo? What is it? What is he just not fit? Match fit? What's going on?
I'm not even sure, Steve.
Yeah, I mean he's not long just joined the team properly, so there probably is a bit of that in it. But no one knows. It's a work in progress. It's like FPL seasons.
Lewis, out of the God knows how many people that are on here at the moment, it's only me, Llama, that think that United are going to concede. What do you think?
Nah, I don't see us conceding, to be honest. Watford have been really, really bad without Ismail Assar, and just as of late, Watford they've struggled quite a bit after that good form that they've had. I'm thinking 2-0 United. I think, as long as Statman, I think Fernandes is going to get his first goal for the club. He looked so good when he came on last night against Club Brugge. So yeah, 2-0 United.
Does look like a very exciting player. Well, talking of exciting players, did you all get to see the Ruben Neves goal last night?
I've not actually seen it yet.
Yeah.
I was watching it live when it went in.
Leave Lord Neves.
Yeah, no, I'll try and bring it up on Twitter, actually.
Was it decent? Yeah.
Oh, he just gets it on his chest and just volleys it into the back. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting it was the greatest goal I've ever seen, but it was certainly a wonderful, wonderful strike from the lad, as patronising as that sounds. But it was a beautiful goal here. And but Wolves versus Norwich. As someone, I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, but someone in the Llama Lounge made this point. It may have been Charlie again, saying that at the end of the day, Wolves aren't that great versus teams after the Europa League. Norwich are no mugs, and I do think this could end 1-1, 0-0. I've gone 1-0 to Wolves. But I just think they'll only just nick this because, like Charlie says, I just think that Wolves aren't particularly great after the Europa League. Your thoughts, Llama?
Similar to you. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. I'll just go 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves. Dan?
Bringing Wolves players into my team, this FPL app keeps crashing. I don't know whether that's like a sign from the FPL God or something. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. And what I'm going to do, Llama, are you able to put the stream on by any chance?
Yeah, no, I've got the stream on as well, yeah.
This should be, so for anybody watching right now, up on screen, here we are, hopefully the tech goes all right. This is the Neves goal, so I'll be able to play this particular goal right now. So everybody, I'm going to play the sound as well. This is when we're going to get banned, but I'm willing to take that risk. So here we go. Let's
Goal to light up the time. Genius from Neves.
What a goal. I mean, Traore again, we know what he's about. He gets to the byline, whips it in. No one really there, comes out second phase.
It was buffering a little bit, so I kind of was watching it like I was watching the Lego movie, but I could
see him creeping in now.
What happened?
He's run, ball comes in, he's reading that second phase. As soon as it comes out, see it from his angle now. He's even under pressure, gets it out, just sets it up nicely. Hits it really sweetly. As soon as it hits it, you know it's going in. Could the keeper have got there? Wolves won't care. Great little finish. It's just even under pressure, that chest.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That's us banned from YouTube, everybody. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at some point in the next 3 years.
See you next year.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Flaming out. Anyway, yeah, so back to our predictions. And like I said, I think it's going to be 1-0 to Wolves. Llama's going 2-1. Dan's thinking, did you say 1-1, Dan?
Yeah, 1-1.
1-1. So FPL tips?
2-0 Wolves.
Yeah, I like that prediction there. Statman?
2-1 Wolves. I'm on the cusp of bringing in Jimenez, so yeah, I'd take it 2-1 with his chances of scoring 1 or 2.
Anish?
3-0 Wolves.
Bloody come on. 3-0? You think
Yes.
Norwich are that bad?
Away from home, they are, yes.
Great. Well,
If
Gravy
it
Dave
was
is saying.
Norwich at home.
Gravy Dave saying exactly the same. King Cun, I'm assuming you're going to be agreeing with Anish.
Yeah, I just think Wolves are a great side. Even they're playing Europa League and managing to do well in the league. So I'm going to go high-scoring game of 4-1 to Wolves.
4-1.
Jeez.
They don't get to play Espanyol every. In fact, I don't even remember the last time Wolves scored 4 goals, and probably someone's going to put in chat now it was the other week. But Paulie.
Neves has got back-to-back hat-tricks in Europa, I think.
I'm going to go 3-1.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, Jota.
I mean, 3-0 to Wolves.
Yeah, it does, I think.
3-0 to Wolves.
Yeah, I watched the game. I watched the game last night, and Wolves played really well. I know it weren't Europa League, but they started off with the strongest 11 possible. Traore and Jimenez both went off early on, and people keep talking about Neves' goal, but like Lama's just said, Jota scored a hat trick last night, and that's his second in 2 Europa League games.
Blimey, we've got a woman in chat, Chloe Walker. Well, I know about 5 different Chloes, so I wonder if it's one of them. Unlikely, it's probably another bloke. Well, hold on a minute here. What's this? Something's just popped up on my screen, and it's a new subscriber. Thank you for your subscribe there. Really appreciate that. That doesn't normally happen. So thank you for the subscribe there. We are getting to the fourth 3,210 mark. On to Lewis. Lewis, what do you think on this particular game?
What game are we talking about?
I think we're talking about Chloe, and then we're talking about subscribers. So we're talking about Wolves versus Norwich.
2-0 Wolves. I think I've got a double Wolves attack on this wildcard team, so probably a little bit of FPL bias there. But yeah, I think 2-0 Wolves. I'm taking him to keep a clean sheet as well. Look really good defensively now. Bolly's back.
FPL 442. Do not apologise for subscribing. It did remind me of when watching FPL Days videos when he gets the old Aguero when someone follows him on Twitch. Very, very funny indeed. Now then, the final game of Sunday afternoon is Dan's team. It's Arsenal versus Everton, and I really do think this is going to be drab. In fact, talking of dread FPL, who thinks it's going to be 3-0 to Wolves, this is going to be a dreadful game. Not as bad as Crystal Palace versus Newcastle, but I do think this is going to be a very low-scoring affair, very, very tight. It's Arsenal versus Everton, and I think Arsenal are just going to nick this 1-0. Llama.
So the last few times that they've been away from home, Arsenal have won 5-1. The last time they won 2-0. Everton have also beat Arsenal 1-0. The last game they actually played was 0 each. So there's going to be a nothing in it. 2-0 Arsenal. Aubameyang is going to get a brace.
Yeah, so blimey.
Hope so.
We never get subscribes at this time of the year, and then all of a sudden we had 2 in the last 10 seconds. So, Llama, I'll tell you what, do you want to do a quick bit of admin like you did the other night? That was ridiculous. Anyway.
We'll get one, the One Sport football app thing, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get them sponsoring us.
Very, very good. Dan, it's your team, of course. You'll be watching this, I'm sure. Arsenal versus Everton.
Yes, Steve-O. How dare you say that Arsenal will be involved in a dreadful game, although it was a dreadful game last night. I think it's going to be a tight game, like you say. You know, it was 0-0 in the reverse fixture, which wasn't long ago now. So we are the draw specialists. We've won the last 2 games. I'm going to go 1-1.
Do you think Walcott could come back and haunt you?
Yeah. The thing is, if I say no, then it'll score. But if I say yes, then he won't score. So I'll say yes, he will come back and haunt us. But no, I don't know what's going on with his hair at the moment, but it seems to be working because obviously he got that winner against Watford and he got that assist against, I think it's Palace for Bernard that time. So he's who knows? Maybe he's trying to get back in the England team for the Euro 2020. But yeah, it'll be a tight game. But good win last night. Maybe just edge it. But yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
FPL tips. Do you think this is going to be another high-scoring game, or like myself and Dan and Lama, this is going to be low-scoring? Yeah.
I think it will be low-scoring. I find it quite hard to call. I'll go 1-1. I think this could easily go either way.
I completely agree with you. Both teams, although Arsenal, what is it, Dan? Arsenal haven't lost in the last 10 matches or something like that. They've only lost 1 in 10. I can't remember now what it is, but
yeah, the last game we lost was to Chelsea on December the 29th, and to be fair, in that game, Chelsea Jorginho should have been sent off, so that doesn't really count.
And I heard a statistic. I can't believe this, but Ali, if you're watching, hello. He told me that was the first time after Olympiacos, that was the first time in 5 years you've had 2 clean sheets back to back. Is that right?
What?
That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me over the years with like Mustafi and I don't know, all these other defenders. Yeah, so I don't know if that's correct, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Quite extraordinary. Kev, your thoughts on Arsenal versus Everton?
Yeah, I reckon that the second half demolition of us will have boosted the confidence, to levels that we haven't seen under Arteta. I think 3-1, Steve-O. I still think they'll struggle to keep a clean sheet, but they did look good. You can't deny it in that second half.
But they're up against Everton, a very well-drilled team under Ancelotti. Admittedly, they are quite leaky, but you think they're going to score 3 past them? Wow. Fair enough. Anish?
I'm going to go with 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1. Yeah, I like that prediction. I think that's a very nice outcome indeed. King Kun?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Arsenal's fallen under a bit of the radar, and I think they're gonna win this pretty easy. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal.
So 3 clean sheets in a row for Arsenal. Paulie?
I went 2-1 Arsenal as well.
Just before we get on to Lewis's prediction, Dan, it's the same questions for you as ever, from Alan Borg, from our man Dylan. The 2 questions are quite simply this: will Martinelli start, and will Nketiah start?
Well, I don't think Nketiah will start because Lacazette scored in the last 2 games. So he did miss a few chances last night, and then he eventually did score late on when the game came to life. Martinelli actually came off quite early. I think it was around like 65th minute for Ceballos. So, I mean, he did it lively in the game. I think Martinelli will start, and possibly Lacazette will be playing as well. I can't. It's hard because thinking about it, it's hard to predict with Arteta because, like, you know, like when Pepe was had a good game, one game, and then the next game he's rested against Burnley. So, but yeah, just the fact that Martinelli came off early, I reckon he will start.
There we are. Hopefully that helped you out there, Alan. And finally, Lewis, your thoughts on Arsenal Everton?
1-0, but I think it's going to be 2-1 now because Richarlison's always been good against these big teams. He's good. This season in the reverse fixtures, he's done well in pretty much all of them. FPL bias as well. I've got Aubameyang, so I think obviously I'm not going to expect just 1 goal out of him. So yeah, 2-1 Arsenal.
And now we
I think the only thing that puts me off, I've got Aubameyang as well, but the only thing that's put me off him the last couple of weeks, I know he scored, etc., is he's out on that left wing.
Yeah, true. I was about to say that to Dan there as well. If Martinelli was to start, who do you drop? Because Lacazette's on form now, 2 games. Aubameyang's Aubameyang, and Pepe's on hot form as well. So it's a hard one.
It is, yeah. No, that's what I was thinking when I was saying it. It is quite hard actually because Lacazette suddenly started scoring. It will be strange for him to be dropped, and then, like you said, Aubameyang's Aubameyang. So Martinelli, Pepe. I don't know, but before that, Martinelli was playing really well, and he did it lively again last night. So it's a nice problem to have, though.
It is
for sure.
Definitely. Problem Arsenal have needed for a long time, and a problem United need now as well.
Hey, Martinelli's ours.
And
West Ham, Steve-O?
yeah, the final game of the weekend. It's the game where everybody's going to be captaining a West Ham United. West Ham, yeah. Let's all captain a West Ham United player just for a laugh. It's Liverpool versus. Let's start a Twitter campaign, shall we? Everybody buy a West Ham player and captain them. But it's Liverpool versus West Ham, and it's just going to. Let's be honest here. This should be a very, very simple, comprehensive victory. It's going to be a professional job, as me and Dan like to say. It wouldn't surprise me if it ended 2-0. I've given them an extra goal. I'm going 3-0 to Liverpool. Llama.
Damn you. You took the scoreline straight out of my mouth. So I was looking back there, a couple of seasons ago, Liverpool were winning these games 4-1 and 4-0.
That's right. Yeah.
The last couple have been a bit tighter, though, to be fair. I won each, and then Liverpool won earlier in the season 2-0.
What, you mean the other week?
Yeah. But I have to totally agree with you. At home, it has to be a big, I think 3 or 4-0, but all right, I'll go 4. You went 3, I'll go 4.
Well, Gravy Dave is saying 7-1. Joval saying 7-0. come on, lads, get real here. It ain't happening. It is not. Liverpool don't score more than 3 these days. And, well, again, I could be proven wrong. Put your 10p. Oh no, betting shops don't allow that anymore, do they? No. Put a quid on 7-0, 7-1. Dan, are you confident in a high scoring game here?
Yeah, I think the fact that Liverpool lost on Tuesday as well, they kind of like want to get that winning feeling back. And yeah, West Ham's having a very tough time of it at the moment. Like I said, I think it will be a professional job. I'm going to be kind on West Ham for the sake of our friend G-Wiz. I'm going to say 2-0 Liverpool.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Liverpool played one of the best ever defences ever to exist in the world.
You need a machine gun to get through that defence.
Yeah, and they only lost by that by that one goal in the opening 30 whatever it was, the opening 4 minutes, and I just think that they're now playing one of the worst defences in Europe at the moment. I mean, Block FPL 4-0. Gravy
Yeah,
Dawson.
Block's got my back.
He's on his wild card at the moment.
Oh, is he?
He has indeed. Steve-O, West Ham were awful. Liverpool will score at least 5. Well, I'll be interested to hear King Kun's prediction in a minute. James May, I wonder if it's the James May. If it is, you've sold out, mate. He's saying 5. Essentially, everybody's saying something to nil, and I know Anish is captain in Trent. But FPL tips. Are you going a high-scoring game here?
3-0.
Okay.
Quite standard, I suppose. Yeah, 3-0.
So, who did you predict? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you think Southampton have got the same likelihood of scoring 3 goals against Aston Villa as Liverpool have against West Ham?
Yeah, just because I think Liverpool probably have the high ceiling, but they just, once they go 2 or 3-0 up, they're just going to completely just make sure they just see off the game.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Southampton, if they go 2-0 up, they're just going to try and score a third, which I don't with Liverpool.
Firetog, you've got Salah and Mane like me. We're both doing rubbish, so whoever you captain, I'll do the opposite, mate. We'll have a nice little agreement there. Geordie Keth, what do you think on this this particular fixture?
Yeah, I'll second thought that Liverpool not being as ruthless as they could be. Preserving a bit of energy, maybe taking the foot off the gas a little bit. I do think that 2-0 loss to City was flattering because I'm sure we'll get onto it. City should have had 2 in the first 10 minutes. You know what I mean? With Jesus had scored his chances, so I'll go 3-0, Steve-O. Just a coasting professional job, as you say.
Yeah. Anish?
I'm going to also go 3-0.
And you're going to be open to Trent get some attacking returns, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, got him as captain there. Come on, King Kung. Is it going to be 6, 7, 8, 9? What are you thinking?
Hey.
King Kung, are you there?
Yeah, 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0, he said.
Flaming Nora, really? Why? 2-0? You really think that, do you?
No, I don't, but I don't know, I just said the number. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 3, it could be anything.
At least he's honest.
You've gone with the average there. So, all right then, Paulie, what do you think?
You might as well just write down Liverpool to win for King Kun. Of any of them. I've gone 3-0 as well to Liverpool.
I've just noticed something here, Paulie. If you would have said 2-1 in this fixture, your score lines would have been 1-1, 1-1, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1, 2-1, 3-0, 3-0, 2-1, 2-1. So should we just put 2-1 for the sake?
You can do, but I don't think West Ham will score.
No, we'll keep it real. So you're saying 3-0, and finally, Lewis, your thoughts?
See, I was also going to say 2-0 to be honest, because I think Liverpool. It depends which. Like, I won't be surprised if they rotate a little bit. to this Atletico Madrid fixture. And I wouldn't be surprised either if they did start with a strong lineup and they just took, like someone said earlier, took the foot off the gas and preserved a lot of energy and things like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Salah and Mane and players like that got subbed off really early as well. So it could be 2-0, it could be 5-0, like FPL Guerrero just said then. But I'm going to go in between. I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0. So Anish, you'll be pleased to know everybody seems to think there's a clean sheet. And the history, here we go, the history in this particular fixture for Salah and Mane are absolutely sublime. Essentially, it's just a case of whoever you've got, just stick at one of these players. If you've got them both, one of them stands out by one extra goal. So Salah and Mane both have started 4 times versus West Ham. Salah has got 4 goals and 3 assists. Mane, 4 starts, 5 goals, 2 assists. So really, it's just quite literally a toss of a coin. I'm going with Mane. That's why you should all captain Salah. So, lads, if you want us to go through your team, by all means, stick it in the team screenshots. You know what to do. I know a few of you have already done that. King Kun, Anish has Llama. But we'll start with Boona. He's in the gym at the moment. He's doing a couple of dumbbells. And let's go and quickly bring up on screen right now what he's more than likely going to be doing this particular game week. And it's pretty straightforward, really, for him. He's going with a 3-5-2 formation. McCarthy in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Seiss, Lundstrom as his back 3, Martial, Mane, captain, Salah, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Danny Ings and Long up front with Lascelles, Williams and Martinelli on the bench. Now, straight away, Boona, I personally would probably play Lascelles over Shane Long and go with a 4-5-1, or even Williams. I think Williams has got more chance of doing something against Watford attacking-wise than Shane Long. But has anybody here got any thoughts on this particular team whatsoever, or do you think it's all good to go and it's a perfectly good team? Anybody?
For me, I quite like it, to be honest. I can see why he started, who he started. Like you though, maybe Long is a bit too long in the tooth. He could be first on the bench instead of Lascelles. But I think even the way the bench is ordered, and Boona, we all know Boona loves his bench, so he'll probably be fine with that as it stands.
I think it's all set. I think all good and proper. Oh, a niche there. If you wouldn't mind just muting yourself, if not on air, it will help with the audio issues. But let's get on to Llama's team, my direct rival. This will be
so, Steve-o, we start with Henderson at the back, a back 3 of Stevens, Trent Alexander and Lundstrom, a strong midfield lineup of Decor, Mane, Traore and Salah, and up front a great trio of combination with Ings, Aubameyang and Vardy. The bench lineup starts with Fernandes first on the bench, with Perez second on the bench, and You've Been Tangled last on the bench. I'm glad Jordi Kev joins us live this evening, because Fernandes is the one that I might pop in place of someone else, possibly Decor or Traore. So I'd be interested to hear your opinions. Take it away. Slate my team.
Well, Kev, straight away, what do you think? Fernandes to play ahead of Traore or Decore?
It's close, isn't it? I'm in a similar situation with a lot of players, 50-50 calls. I like Traore, to be honest. He's had a bit of a break, hasn't he? He was rested and stuff. Wolves have still been creating heaps of chances. It's not like they're drying up. It's just Jimenez hasn't been as clinical as he can. I'd edge towards Traore, Llama, to be honest.
No, that's fine. And I think the only reason that I've kept Decore in there, Steve-o, and for the rest of you is I think he's one of the few people from Watford that if they are going to do anything or get anything at Old Trafford and it's against my team, he's the guy that will probably be involved or get a goal or be involved in a goal. So that's what's drawn me there. But no, Steve will slate away.
No, I like the team. I think it's looking good. I wanted to ask why are you going Salah over Mane?
I just go back to taking it back to the old school. So Salah's on pens, and just various other reasons. I think he's on slight, or was, and I think still is slightly on better form than Mane. But I know you said it earlier on, it's a coin toss between the two. You could probably put the armband on one or the other. I'm just quite happy just keeping it on Salah, to be honest. My biggest thing, though, was I took out KDB after that last game to bring Mane in. I did that for a few reasons. I can't remember who it was in here that actually mentioned it, but I'm of the same opinion. I've got a funny feeling that Pep, and no one knows, let's be honest, how to predict what Pep brings out on a lineup. But I kind of think he's going to be focusing on the Madrid game next week. And for that reason, I don't know, I just think KDB and people like that may come off early. They're in the middle of two quite, I know City are City, but Leicester are no mugs. And I know they're missing a few players. But then they've got Man United, but they've got that blank game week right slap bang in between the two. That's why I was happy to just take the risk and get rid of KDB and put Mane straight back in. Listen, we just, as Wiz says, hashtag play your own game.
I'm sure you've spoken about it to death, but I still want to hear about it. Perez, what on earth? Literally Perez with a question mark. What on earth has made you own him? What is going on?
I don't know, to be honest. I knew I wanted a second Leicester player, and I wanted to have someone that wasn't Maddison because everyone in their granny had Maddison. So I put Perez in, but I've also taken the hauls from Perez as well. So he's actually done okay for me. I was never going to play him this week, but you watch. After this game week, people will be getting back in Leicester assets. I guarantee it. And it'll be your Perez's and your Madisons that will start drifting back into people's
Perez,
teams.
come on, no chance.
What's his price, Llama?
It's about 6-1, something like that.
What made you favour him over Barnes, just as a comparison?
So Barnes,
I'm not going to get Leicester in. I'm not going to get Leicester assets in. It's literally Perez versus Barnes.
Barnes is only, for me anyway, and the eye test on the last couple of games has obviously been decent. I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think Perez has always been there or thereabouts, more so. But you're right. Over the last couple of weeks, though, Barnes is definitely the better player. But I just think with Leicester's fixtures, I'm quite happy to stick with Perez.
Definitely.
Yeah, he does seem to, from my basic knowledge, does seem to turn up against the more poor opposition. Obviously, their next fixtures are pretty favourable. I do like your strike force, though. Ings, Aubameyang and Vardy, it is superb. The midfielders we've just spoken about is just essentially it's just Mane and Salah. Traore is always hit and miss. Decore, at the moment he's on form, but up against United, you never know what he's going to do. But you've already explained your reasoning as to why you're going to be playing him.
I'm just looking, trying to help Kev out here with my Perez, and I've just had to go back over it because I've owned him for that long. But game week 20, he's got a double-digit haul. Done the same in game week 21. He then gets the odd 2s and 3s, but then slaps a 15 right in the middle of it as well. So it seems to be when he hits, but you have to take the couple of lower scores as well.
What do you let's have an open conversation here. And again, this is essentially like the Llama Lounge. So if anybody wants to chip in, then please, by all means, please do so. What do you put your terrible season down to? Because I look at that team
a stupid wild card.
Okay, when was that?
So I wildcarded roughly game week 4 or 5 maybe, when at that time I had a team that didn't need a wildcard. So at the time I was in the top 10k when I wildcarded. And then since then I've just slipped right down the ranks when I should have just kept the team that I had. That to me is the reason for it, because the team that I wildcarded into was so bad, I then had to hit my way back out it. So I saw something like 7 or 8 weeks of red arrows before I started getting greens again. So that's the lesson learned, you know. Sometimes you just, you know, I was seeing people, in fact, I think Jason spurred it, to be honest. I'm sure at the time, tripled up on City. And I looked at my team and I thought, actually, that could be a good move, getting the triple City. And I'm sure it pretty much backfired. And then I was like, great, now I've just wasted a wild card and I'm going to need to hit my way back out it. So that's all I've done. I've had to hit my way back out it. But that's what's happened this season, unfortunately. And then the season's been a bit weird anyway, but I think most people that have played the game a few seasons will probably agree with that. It has been a bit of an odd one.
Yeah.
But listen, it is what it is, you know. Just got to take the good with the bad. Keep smiling.
I've got your game week history this season up on screen at the moment, and game week 1, this is extraordinary. You were 520,000. Game week 2, you had a green arrow and moved up to 28,000. Game week 3, as you mentioned, 10,000. Game week 4, you dropped down to 93,000. And your team then, at the time, if we look at it, was Heaton in goal, Van Dijk, Digne, Wan-Bissaka, De Bruyne, Sterling, Salah, Mount, Greenwood, Pukki and Barnes. So, if you can think back then, what made you essentially just change this team and go onto a wild card?
Do you know what I think it came down to? I know we always say about whiz and play your own game and all that type of jazz, which is right, and that is true. That is how it should be. I was looking at my team and thinking, everyone was buying in all the players that or not all of them, but a majority of players that I had, people were bringing them in, and I just like having the same teams as everybody else. But I should have listened to the brain and me kind of saying, yeah, but that's not a bad thing. Like, you know, you've obviously got a decent setup. But I just rebelled against it like the black sheep in the family and just kind of went a bit wayward. But I went too wayward. And as I say, I've had to kind of hit my way back. So, lesson learned. But it's all good now. Yeah. If you look at the season, like the last few game weeks, it's a lot better.
I just find that drop. Like, me personally, have been floating around the 800,000 mark since game week 1.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Give or take. I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit, but give or take.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, I mean, I've never seen so many red arrows. It is quite extraordinary, especially...
The last time I seen the red arrows like that, it was over the top of Buckingham Palace.
Yeah. That is absurd. And
yeah,
now,
it's a bit mental, eh?
Like you said, it's a case of getting green. The lowest point you've been was, as you stated at the start of the stream, 1.6 million. And that was after climbing up to 1.4, then the following week 1.6. Then since then you've had 3 green arrows. Yeah. Is there anything that you're playing for this season, or is it quite literally, as Dan always says, you're just kind of just doing this for the stream now? You're kind of just enjoying the game for what it is, so to speak. And just...
Listen, I always enjoy the game. Well, I say that through gritted teeth, because if you'd heard me effing and blinding about game week 5, then it was a different story. But at the end of the day, you've got to kind of sit back and listen to yourself and kind of go, like, if I speak to my missus about this, she'd be like, it's just a game, mate. You know, what are you talking about? What are you getting yourself so worked up about? And then you kind of think, yeah, she's actually got a fair point. And that's kind of really it. In terms of what am I doing for this year, for me it's the live streams, it's keeping Elite and building Elite via Discord, via the new app, via the Llama Lounge, via you and Jason's live streams. The Champions League, the funny thing about that is I'm going to be in the final regardless, because you can't kick the admin out. So, but yeah, if I can actually legitimately do well in it though, I'd be quite happy. But listen, I've still got all my chips in hand, which is Davy P's favourite saying, that he's got all his chips. And I think if I can play it right, I could surprise myself and actually finish fairly strong. Here's hoping.
What's your plans using the chips? Llama? Have you got a rough idea, or are you still playing it by ear?
So I'm led to believe, and you may know better than me, Steve, probably better as well. I think the double game weeks are kind of towards the end of the season, like game week 34, 37, there or thereabouts. So they're the kind of ones that I'll use my triple captain and bench boost on. But I've still got the wild card in hand, and I've still got my free hit there as well. So if things do go a bit awry, then I can still play them and get my. The difference being this time I'll hopefully play it sensibly. But you can clip this and remind me.
I'm sure I will, or SMZ will. Evening, Gabriel.
I think that all I was going to say, sorry, Steve, just back to Kev there. I think the best thing is actually looking at, like Ben Crellin's like sheet and stuff like that. That's the best thing, I think, for this time of the season. Just properly try and plan out the blanks and the double game weeks, and then what chips you have got, or build up your free transfers. Because even if you have used all your chips, like Jason has, I guarantee he'll be trying to plan out when to take a hit or when to, roll his roll his free transfer. And you can kind of navigate it that way as well, even if you don't have chips. So if you play it well, you can actually do all right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk of people playing their free hit in game week 31, which kind of looks like the right decision at the moment. But it is worth considering if Liverpool get knocked out, whether your free hit in 30 will be more valuable. Because 34 is going to be a double and a blank, which is going to be so hard to prepare for. So if you can get out 7 or maybe 8 players in 31 without your free hit, then actually a free hit in 34, I think, will be better off.
Did you say it could be a double game week as well?
Yeah, so 34 clashes with the FA Cup semi-finals, as well as Champions League midweek. So there will be single game weeks, double game weeks, and blanks all in that game week.
Excellent. This is what we want to hear. Absolute cock-ups. Let's say it, cock-ups with everybody. It'd be fantastic. I'd absolutely be loving that. And Gabriel De Rock, good evening. Always good to hear come home from work and see an Elite FPL stream. You were mentioning in a comment on the inbox or whatever, it's not great putting on a stream and whatever it was and putting on a video and seeing Steve a bit annoyed. Well, I suggest you rewind this particular stream, because you'll be seeing me and Daily Llama having a right giggle about all things Elite FPL. Moving on to a niche. You're pretty set, aren't you, with your team?
Yeah, I think I'm saving a free transfer this week.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just going to save a free transfer, and then I'm going to keep Aubameyang and De Bruyne and bench them, because I think they're going to have a double game week.
You're definitely keeping Trent as your captain. He's been paying off for you very well over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it on him. I think I'm going to keep it on him for the rest of the season, and apart from the double game weeks.
You're going to captain Trent Alexander-Arnold every game, barring doubles and blanks, yeah?
Barring the doubles and blanks, yeah.
What makes you come to this decision?
Just the fixtures. There are no fixtures that Liverpool have. It's just really good, and they are really good defensively as a unit. They're not conceding too many goals. They've kept a clean sheet in the last however many. I think they've had 10 clean sheets in the last 11 games in the league.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with you. There's sound logic there or whatever. And a bit like, did you, Llama, did you actually go through with your, your plan regarding, because you set up a team, didn't you? And you said that you wouldn't be doing any hits for X amount of weeks, if you remember that. Did you stand by?
Stuck to that.
How did it work out?
So, well, you've seen the green arrows of late. So it's done all right. However, I did have to take a -4 this week. Well, I didn't have to take one, but I did. But it worked out fine, though.
Yeah.
Because that was about a month and a bit with no hits, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. King Kun, you're back with us, pal.
Yeah, it's just internet's killing me. Something's wrong in the area. It's raining or something. I've got no idea. Have you got my team up, Steve?
I've got your team up. It's very, very small on screen, but it doesn't matter. For people listening on audio, it's Henderson, Van Dijk, Bowley, Reece James. When did you get him in?
Yeah, I'm currently on a -8, but go and read through the team. And
Almiron, De Bruyne, Traore, Salah, Mane captain, Callum Wilson and Jimenez. So straight away, tell us about that -8.
Okay, so I had Gomez, which was probably my buy of the season so far, but I think his time's run out. So I took out Gomez and put in Bolly, and I took out Montoya from Brighton and put in Reece James. So that allowed me to get.
Is it just me that can't hear him, or?
No.
I think it's just you. I can hear him fine.
No, I can hear him perfect.
Hear him?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I had the injury from Son, which I had to rectify. And I brought in Mane because I think Pablo Zabaleta's going to play right back. And last time he played, Sterling had a hat-trick. What was the other player? And I took out Aguero for Jimenez. And now I'm thinking of putting in Abraham for Mupai, which will make me a -12.
Oofed.
Blind, I've had to write this down because this is like a book at the moment. That's quite extraordinary. So to clarify on this, so Gomez to right, this initial -8. Have you done this to fund Mane?
Yeah, to fund Mane and to keep me flexible with a bit of money in the bank, 2 million. I was waiting on press conferences for Tammy Abraham. I really want him this week because I think he's got Bournemouth following week. So I think he could be a differential because everyone's transferring him out. So I like that. I like to get on players that people are getting out.
I mean, the team itself up on screen is looking fantastic, barring Almiron, but whatever. The Reece James is a really, really interesting pick here. I know that Davy P was banging on about him during the Chelsea Man United game. A very attacking player indeed. What's made you go on with Reece James?
Okay, so I watched him last week, and I thought, how is this guy hasn't still got points? Like I think he's created the 4th amount of chances out of all players in the last 3-4 game weeks. So he's bound to get some sort of returns. If Tammy starts, that's a problem. That's the thing. If James and Tammy link up, it could be a good combination going forward.
You're confident he'll start though, yeah?
Yeah, I think he was the best player last week. He's just they missed too many chances, man. A few offsides here and there, but I rate him a lot. I think he's a good player.
Dan, this seems like a transfer you do.
Yeah, Reece James though, like when I've seen him play, he has looked quality. To be fair, so I can certainly see the logic in that move. And then, like saying about Tammy as well. I mean, Chelsea's fixtures. I know they've got Tottenham. It's still a tricky game, but then they got Bournemouth away, Everton at home, Villa away. Yeah, okay, they got Man City, but then they got West Ham, Watford, Palace, Sheffield United, Norwich. So it's not a bad idea, really.
But Lampard's come out and said he's 70% fit. Will he be in the squad? Yes. Will he start? It's a completely different storyline. So you're literally thinking, Kun, it's literally down to the press conferences, what you're hearing in the next 24 hours, whether you do this move or not.
Yeah, I heard the press conference today, which suggested me that I think he's 90% chance of starting, but I think I'm going to bite the bullet and go with it and say, you know what, if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, I don't really care because I think I've set up my ideal 16 going forward, barring the double game week. So the way I look at it is I'm going to take the hits now and then like preserve them. So I'm literally giving up my Champions League tie this week just to win the next 3.
Well, interestingly, Jason last night saying that he takes all his hits at the start of the season, so that's all out the way, and then he doesn't do anything for the rest of the season. So everybody, there's going to be no more minus 24 streams, unfortunately. But you're saying that you're willing to do this minus 12 now, get out of the way, so then it sets you up for the next 3. Obviously, I'm assuming you'll be going there with a 3-4-3 formation. With instead of Almiron playing, you'll be playing Abraham instead.
Yeah, and it lets me be flexible because I think Wilson plays in 29, Almiron plays, and a few other players play. I'll be looking maybe to get in a Burnley defender if I can get maybe Tarkowski or me. I don't know which one you think's better, but
Tarkowski just for the goal threat.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say to you is that and to whoever's listening is that I've actually taken, this will be minus 100. I've taken 100 points in hits, and I'm like 70k or something ranked. I'll be over 100 after this week, but I'm willing to take hits when they're necessary.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, and just sorry, Steve-o, just on that, that's another thing. You know, earlier on in the stream, about 2.5 hours ago or whenever it was, we were talking about, you know, like how Twitter can be sometimes toxic at times and all that type of stuff. If any of us had typed that into Twitter, you know, that we've taken like 100 pointing hits and all that, right, like type of stuff, you'd be getting absolute pelters for doing it. Yeah, as we're just saying there, you're 70k ranked in the world, and that's my same attitude. So if the hits are right and you can kind of play it at the right time, luck comes into it sometimes. But all I'm getting at is that people that fear taking hits, I just don't get it. I know we go back to Wizzy's play your own game, and quite rightly, that's the way it needs to be. And I appreciate that we all play the game differently. That's why we like it. But the people that turn around and will slate you for taking 12-point hits or a minus 16 or a minus 20, it's like, wait a minute. You can still be high. I mean, I finished, 29k, I think it was last season, there or thereabouts, whatever it was. It was good. I was quite happy with that. And I think I was the same. I think I took about 140 points worth of hits. So it don't matter. Not in my head, anyway.
Yeah, it's just for me that Gomez has pretty much matched Trent for like 2 million less, and he just allowed me to have Aguero in those few crucial games. You know, like it's just like taking those kind of punts on like he's been my best buy. I know he's 5 million, but I think he saved my season. Sort of Gomez, a 5 million defender.
I think Ray Joyce is completely agreeing. You didn't have to donate, my friend, but he's donated $1.99. He's completely sending his thumbs up to what I'm assuming agreeing with Llama and his statement there, and obviously with Cum as well, saying about hits and everything, and Bilal making the point that never fear taking hits. Taking occasional hits is beneficial. FPL 442, I agree with taking hits. If you can justify the spend, then it's worth it. So, Kun, overall, you're happy moving forward. It sounds like you've got a plan in place. As a rival, actually, you're not a rival. You're too far ahead of me. Just go for it. Just take that minus 12. And, enjoy what you're doing, because it's evident that you've got a plan, and it looks like it's... I'd like to think it should pay off.
I think it's just...
I hope so. What do you guys think? Who else is in chat? Statman, what do you think?
Yeah, mate, I like your style of play. You know, you're bold with all your moves. You're obviously doing a hell of a lot better than, you know, the rest of the company you're keeping at the minute. So, you know, you definitely appear to be having more fun as well with it. Do you know what I mean? Like some decisions don't come off, but there's nothing better than a punt that comes home. Do you know what I mean? I have had barely none of them this season, so... nah, bro, your style of play is admirable. So
you were going to say something, Tips.
Do what you do.
Yeah, just with the Chelsea thing. I mean, because Chelsea the early kickoff, you're to get that early team news, so I'd probably wait till tomorrow. But as a Chelsea fan, I love that Reece James pick, and I think with our fixtures going forward, it could pay you off quite well.
Kun, I think you've got a resounding success there, considering as Statman just said that you are surrounded right now in this show of an average rank of 1 million. I think that you know what you're doing. We can't really tell you anything other than just blowing smoke up your backside. So we'll move on to the next. Onto a more. In fact, we'll get you giving advice to Kev, because Kev, we're going to bring up your team
Appreciate
next.
Excellent.
Hello, who's that? I think that's...
It's not that bad of a team, is it? Jesus, I've never had a reaction like that.
Did she say what I thought?
I don't know what she said. I think it was Lewis's sister, mother, who knows, girlfriend maybe.
Look at that. If I say it, I'm getting you lot banned on YouTube, so I'm not repeating.
Technical difficulties, lads. Technical difficulties.
You're right there, Lewis. What's going on there? You're not
Right.
got a black eye now, have we? I mean, extraordinary. So, yes, Statman, we got your team up on the screen. You're going with a 4-3-3 this particular game. With Henderson and go, Alexander-Arnold, Baldock, Gomez. Talking of Gomez, Lascelles, De Bruyne, Salah, Captain, Fleck, Ings, Aguero, Aubameyang. Any transfers? Done any? What's your thought processes going in this particular game with your team?
To be honest, I'm following suit with Aguero, King Kun. Looking at Jimmy in for Aguero. I'm just waiting till the last minute because I'm not playing the price rise game anymore. Yeah, what do you lot think? I do not want Aguero anymore. Like Steve, your member stream just hit the nail on the head. Like everything I do, doesn't matter what I do, I do not know what to do. I'm second, I'm third guessing every decision. I feel like if I take Aguero out, he's going to get a double. He's going to get a brace against Leicester, and then they might get a double game week in 29. It's literally I do not know what to do.
So Kev, the emotion that you clearly just showed through my ears, right, in these headphones, was the whole reason why I got rid of Aguero and Sterling weeks ago, and just kept De Bruyne.
Yeah.
For that, exactly what you've just emphasised through the headset.
But I just brought him in, Llama, on me wildcard 2 weeks ago for Spurs and West Ham. So I was always kind of, I was always leaning towards getting on him for these 2 games and getting shot before the blank. But because I've got no return, I kind of feel invested in him to the point where I should
want to get a return.
I think looking at your team, as we all are just now, and as Steve-O would say, in the millions across the YouTube world, the thing that I'd be fearing is the blank game week next. Because you've got two, so you've got 2 City there, you've got 3 Sheffield United, and you've got Aubameyang.
Yeah, but what I'll say on that, I plan to do, say I take Aguero to Jimenez this week. Next week would be Button to Pope, and Fleck to maybe Bond. So I've got a plan in place. The next 3 transfers have to cover that blank because the bench, as you see, Almiron, Stevens, and Moy all feature. So I'll get 11 out with a -4. But it's which route do I go down? Do you know what I mean? I'm leaning with Steve-O as well about Vardy. I do think Vardy could kickstart a second wind with the fixtures. Just look so good. Jimenez has been so unlucky. What would you do?
So for me, I think the 2 players that you've mentioned are the 2 one player I've already got, and the other player that I'm thinking of probably bringing in next week. So currently at the moment, I've got Ings and Vardy, whereas you've got Ings and Aguero. and I've got a Aubameyang as well, but I was going to get rid of a Aubameyang after this week because he blanks in the next game week and get Jimenez in. So for me, if it was me, that's the two players I'd be looking to get in would be Vardy and Jimenez. However, I can't remember what Everton's fixtures are looking like because Calvert-Lewin's not a bad shout either, to be honest. But I'm not wanting to put too many thoughts in your head.
They're pretty appalling, Llama. But the only thing with Aubameyang, right? I've not been an Aubameyang owner, to be honest, the whole time I played FPL. But once again, his fixtures coming back after the blank, man. They've got West Ham at home.
Yeah, you're right.
And Arsenal tend to put 3 or 4 past them, at least in the last 3 or 4 games, at the Emirates. So I've had this out in Discord a fair bit. Originally, I was going to move him to Vardy, but, seeing Arsenal pick up a little bit of attacking prowess against my boys, Everton at home, he could do the biz, but also that West Ham fixture. So I'm kind of leaning to benching him. Sorry, Steve.
Okay.
Plus Aubameyang. Yeah, I was saying plus Aubameyang could potentially have a double game week in 29.
Exactly.
Yeah, he has to keep Aubameyang.
Yeah, I think just in time. So, no, I think Aubameyang's worth keeping with the fixtures going forwards. I know there's obviously like that break in week 28. I mean, what I'm planning to do is bench him that game week. Jimenez.
I think, Dan, as well, that grates me with Aubameyang, because similar to Kev, I've only had Aubameyang in for a few weeks. But before that, I never ever owned. I think that's the first time I've actually ever brought him into an FPL team in 3 seasons. Yeah, at the end of a season, he's always up there as a top goal scorer, if not the top goal scorer.
He's probably trying to get a move in the summer. I mean, we got West Ham game week 29, Brighton away game week 30, Southampton, that'll be a tough game, and then Norwich at home. So I can see him returning 3 out of 4 of those games. I mean, I know that sounds super confident, but it's just the sort of games he tends to thrive in, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially at home. Arsenal is just too good at home. They play really well at home. It's just, when I look at Kev's team, he's just, for me, it just sticks out Fleck and Aguero.
That's the 2 transfers, mate. So it's good to hear that, actually.
Yeah,
For me, it's Traore or Martial for Fleck, and Aguero to Jimenez has to be.
True. What about the starting lineup, lads? Do you think I've got it set up correct? I've got Alma on, I've got Stevens at home to Villa, potentially up against Lascelles and Fleck. Do you think I've got the right starting 11 for you?
Okay, I'll say slightly different then. I would possibly put in Stevens over Baldock.
No.
Take your risk away from this double Sheffield defence.
No.
Possibly.
Stevens at home to Southampton, to Aston Villa. I mean, even yourself, you predicted 2-1 to Southampton, so you're expecting Aston Villa to score Llama, whereas Sheffield United predicted. Who is that there? We've had an elephant in the background, a couple of monkeys, and we've got a sister screaming.
It's not me this time.
I know we're across the world here with exotic locations. This is
Elite FPL Zoo.
Yeah.
But I mean, I go back to that question, Llama. Do you not pick your team based on your own predictions? Because as I've just stated, you're thinking Sheffield United are going to keep a clean sheet, yeah? You're advising to play Stevens over Baldock.
I just think Stevens is going to return.
A return?
I'm not saying he's going to...
A goal, an assist, a clean sheet?
Both. I think he'll get both. I think he could get a goal or an assist.
You're trying to mess me up, Lama. I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
But no, see, in all seriousness, no, Kev. I think as what we're just saying, I think the 2 that you'd be looking at is Fleck and Aguero, and honestly, your starting lineup's fine.
Yeah, because he can navigate his team later on, just doing -4s to get rid of the players blanking.
What about the Pope in for Button next week to cover Henderson's blank in 28 and 31? Do you think that's the best move?
Yeah,
Cool.
personally, that's what I do. I think that is the best move.
Yeah, no point selling Henderson. His fixtures are good after the blank, so I'd keep him for after the blank if you can do that. But a different move.
Yeah, I think.
Even Dubravka's a shout.
Sorry to interrupt. And when Henderson's got some pretty poor fixtures after that, Pope's got some good ones. So if you're planning on keeping Pope after that, you could use him in a little rotation system. So that could be quite
And
good.
especially for the bench boosts there, I'm kind of thinking about the bench boost also. It would be bloody good to have Pope on the bench for a bench boost or Henderson.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me,
All
man.
right, thanks, man.
Well, Statman, there's a chance that I could be doing a breakfast show tomorrow, so you can come on then just before the deadline, and we may be
You
able
can
to help
panic.
you. Yeah,
You can panic then.
panic mode. We can
Well, I'll get off Evo. Thanks for the advice, lads. I'll tend to me bloody 2-year-old,
Cheers,
and I'll
Statman.
catch you on the next one. Legends.
Appreciate it, pal. See you soon.
Take care, Statman.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, good one, Stat man.
Dan, we move on to your team. Foster in goal, Gomez, Alexander-Arnold, Bowley, Mahrez, Salah, captain, Traore, De Bruyne, Fleck, Ings, Aubameyang. We don't even need to talk about the sub bench. Done any transfers? Confident going into game week 27?
No. I have done transfers. I'm not confident. I got rid of Redmond because he seemed to put some hoodoo over him because when I brought him in, I talked about him last time. I was bigging him up. It was last Friday actually, wasn't it? I think I was bigging him up, and then he gets injured or whatever, doesn't play. Mahrez doesn't play, and it's just all that money sitting in my team. You say don't talk about the bench, but it's just absolutely, it's a nightmare because Kelly's injured. Maitland-Niles, when I've got him in, he was playing really well, and then all of a sudden Bellerin comes back and he's captain away to Chelsea and scores. Greenwood's, he might play, but I think Ollie'd probably say that for the rest of the season and never play him again. So it is a bit of a concern. But I took out Redmond, bought in Traore, took out Sidibe because I'm just sick of the sight of him in my team, and bought in Bowley. Because it's just the way the season's gone. He was just marauding right back, and he was rampaging in, getting assists. And as soon as I bring him in, it's just like the Dan Bohr effect. It's straight away, he just doesn't get any returns, and it's really frustrating. So what I am thinking as well, I don't know what you guys think about this, but obviously I've got to double up on City players tomorrow. I'm a bit worried now because there could be rotation ahead of that Madrid game, but I've just got this thing in the back of my head that Mahrez will score against his old team or do something if he starts.
Yeah. I think he's got a good chance of starting as well.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't be getting Mahrez out before he plays Leicester. I always love players that play against the old team. I think there's just that little bit more to play for when players have that. So yeah, I'd be definitely keeping Mahrez. And I'm not even sure if he plays in the Champions League. So I don't think there's any fear of rotation. I think he will start this Leicester
I'll be
game.
back in 2 minutes, Steve.
Mahrez.
Yeah, and then obviously with game week, was it 28 when the Man City players don't play and the Arsenal players don't play? I mean, I've got 3 players there, so I want to keep Aubameyang.
No, you got 4.
Maitland-Niles. I mean, he's
No,
It's just-
blanks for you.
It's not will be collecting the orange juice or whatever. But no, possibly get rid of Mahrez or De Bruyne, and then get rid of Greenwood, do it -4, and get either Jimenez or Tammy Batshuayi in. Tammy Abraham in for that game week. Yeah, it's been a long day.
Let's ask
Game week 28.
FPL tips. We've had 2 people now, King Kun and Dan, talking about Abraham. Do you think he's a good pick?
So I actually put out a tweet, I think yesterday, Abraham as a differential going. Yeah, I actually think fixtures coming up. I wouldn't be buying him for this Spurs game because I don't see it being high scoring. But going into that run of fixtures, he could definitely be a nice differential. but it's just
What's
then
his ownership at the moment?
you go dropping because you've got the likes of Jimenez and Ings who are going to be more important in your. And it's then if he takes the third spot, I wouldn't have him in over Jimenez and Ings, and it's whether he fits that third spot for you.
Dan,
What's
Yeah,
his
but he could.
ownership like?
what was that?
Yeah,
Andy?
but
Sorry?
if he does better than Ings, then you jump in rank.
Yeah, you are, but I wouldn't want to be taking that risk at the moment.
Dan, I know that Saka is a reverse out of position player, but I've just seen that he's 4.5. He got an assist last night. He got an assist the other day as well against Newcastle. Is he an option just as a 4.5 bench for the midfielder?
Yeah, I think he is. The way he's playing at the moment, like he's been playing really well, and he's just so attacking as well, and really composed in that final third. He has a lovely bit of skill against Newcastle when he slotted that assist in. I think it was for Pepe that time. So, I mean, you say about fodder and whatnot. I mean, I've got Fleck in there, and that's another one on my hit list. But for 4.5, yeah, I mean, the only thing I was thinking there could be a slight risk of rotation because Kolasinac is fit now, and maybe because we played on Thursday, obviously we played last night away to Olympiacos, game on Sunday, with this Europa League coming in, it might be a slight risk. But from my perspective, like you said, the way he's playing, you can't drop him, and just watch him get dropped now. But no, a good idea.
I mean, I'm asking you a stupid question, but you're very confident with the Salah captaincy. Are you? I mean, I keep actually referencing you. I referenced you in the Playmaker video I did last night, but I said that look, I'm not going to sabotage my team for the sake of it. But is there a possibility you could captain Ings to maybe help you push up the ranks, or just think no, I'll stick with safety?
I don't know. I know what you say about getting up the ranks and everything, but it's just like
To catch me.
once again, no. Yeah. It's still happen, mate. I still got my chips. Like,
So have I.
we'll see, mate. We'll see.
There's only
still got the
one
fight
way to settle it, Dan, and it's like what I said in the
That's
one
right,
match.
yeah, Harry Hill. TV Burt. Dan, I think... yeah, go.
What was I gonna... You've completely thrown me off track now. I'm thinking about what weapon to use in our fight.
We've already discussed the fighting from the last night. So, I'll tell you what we'll do. Obviously, you're going to stay online. We'll bring on FPL tips because I want to go through in a minute because I think it's very important, Lewis's team. But let's talk about FPL tips. He's been on with us for a very long time. We've got his team up on screen at the moment. Blimey, Guaita still. Robertson, Lascelles, Alexander-Arnold, Martial, Salah, Captain, Fleck, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Vardy, Ings. You're another Mahrez owner. Tips, are you like Dan? Are you like Lewis? Is he going to score against his former club?
So I initially planned when I was hoping he'd start against West Ham to sell him to Traore for this game, ahead of this game. And then when he didn't start against West Ham, I was like, fine, I'll keep him for another week. But now I have the exact money in the bank to do Mahrez and Greenwood to Traore and Jimenez and then bench Fleck. And now Mahrez is set to drop in price tonight, which would mean I couldn't afford those two moves. So now I'm thinking, should I just do Mahrez to Traore anyway for this game week so that I can afford Jimenez in for Greenwood next week? Or should I just do it all for a -4 tonight anyway? I'm a bit... And I'm about 3 beers in, so I'm bound to make the wrong decision as well.
This isn't the FPL Dave show, but I think that
just take the hit.
Just take the hit. Go on, King Kun. You're the master of the hits. Tell FPL tips why. Get his 4th beer down. Neck that beer. Get your 4th one down and do the hit. Go on, King Kun. Influence him.
Your team just screams a hit.
Yeah, just it's as simple as that.
The word of motivation.
That's what you're suggesting.
Yeah, it's just if I could do the one transfer, but then is the -4 for Jimenez better than playing either Fleck or Stevens this week? Then what I'm like, is the -4 then needed as well, or do I just bring Traore in?
Well, let's be honest here. I'd rather be playing Fleck. I'd rather be playing Jimenez over Fleck.
Yeah,
over the sake of.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be able to make the moves at all, which is kind of why I think I need to do it. Because Traore and Jimenez, especially for the blanks, are going to be useful. So,
I mean, realistically, in all seriousness, where are you ranked again? It's about 600,000-700,000, isn't it? You may have moved up a bit. Yeah,
550.
Right, so 550. You're in the same boat as all of us. And at the end of the day, you've got, unless there's a cash mini league that you're really fighting for, I would say.
No, I'm too far off the top of that.
Exactly. I would just say take the -4.
Okay, yeah, I think that's probably.
And knowing you're like myself, Kev, Llama, you just know that Mahrez and Fleck are going to get you double-digit alls.
She's ranked 50. She's 50k now.
Oh, King Khan!
She bought in Son for 1 week. He's 30.
Wow.
He got injured and they're sold, but gosh, just a nightmare.
Is this like?
Let me know who she's captaining.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. She doesn't have a Liverpool fielder in her team.
That's crazy. She doesn't have a Liverpool player in her team.
No Liverpool. She has no Liverpool midfielder. So she has Alisson, Trent, and Firmino. I think her captain this week is either Trent or Jimenez.
Wow. I know that somebody on Jason's stream last night said that they're 10,000th and they're captain in Jimenez.
Yeah, I've seen that.
If that's the case, then maybe we're all. Maybe you could go the right direction and bring in Jimenez, captain him.
Yeah,
and,
he's a good shout, but this week still.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game, but I mean, tips you're going 2-0. King Kun is saying 4-1. Jimenez should be in the goals there, so maybe.
It's Salah. It has to, I mean, there's nothing I love in a fantasy than a Monday night cap that can give me hope that when the rest of my team do nothing, I'm still captain on Monday night, and so it will stay on Salah. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then finally, FPL Fozzie is asking, would you keep Grealish on a wild card? Well, talking of wild cards, my answer is probably yes. Lewis, tell us your story, because you are a player that was top 30,000th, whatever it was. You've dropped down the ranks. I wanted to do a special wild card with you. You've got the opportunity now to talk about this. Now, why have you... The first question I want to ask is, where have you dropped from? So what's been your highest rank this season?
My height... Well, what do you mean in terms of highest? Like, number
one
or...
overall rank. What's been the highest game, as in literally overall rank you've had so far this season? Was it 32,000, something like that?
15k.
15k. And then recently you're about 38 or 28, weren't you?
Yeah, and then I dropped to 32. Then I went to 80-something. Well, 79k this game week. And now I'm up to 66k again.
And this was all down to, let's be honest here, Aguero completely failing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So you went into well, tell us why. Why did you decide to wildcard? What was the emotion behind this to do this wildcard?
There's a lot behind it, really. Well, my team last game week, I was having to start players like Cantwell against Liverpool. My team was in bits. Webster lost his place. Soyuncu had awful fixtures, so I couldn't really play him. There was a lot I could have done. The moves I wanted to make was as a -12, and I just didn't fancy a -12, to be honest. And there was a lot of fixture turns. I remember I was coming on the show like a few weeks ago, and I was saying that I was planning a wild card around this time, and I was messaging you on Discord as well. I was planning a wild card. I've been planning it for ages, and I just didn't know when. And looking at my team, as soon as that last game week ended, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have the wild card. It was just shocking. Most of my players had pretty poor fixtures. A lot of them had lost their place. things like that. And with only one free transfer, I would have had to take a lot of hits, which, like I said, I didn't fancy doing. So I've wildcarded, and I've had a lot of decisions to make. Mostly regarding the City assets, to be fair. I think if there's ever a time to get him out, it'd be now. Because there's a lot of implications with this UCL ban. You don't really know what's gonna happen, and obviously Pep and people like that, they don't know whether it's going to get overturned or not, so I'm going to prioritise the UCL heavily. And whether De Bruyne starts or not, no matter what, I think he's going to get reduced minutes. It'd seem pretty obvious that he's going to get reduced minutes. I think it's about 3 or 4 days after that they play Madrid, after this Leicester game. So, yeah, I think him, maybe not Aguero, because obviously Jesus he can't score in the Prem, but he's good in the Champions League. So, I don't know, I don't see him getting many minutes, to be honest.
Yeah, I think like what you said there about getting rid of KDB. I'm the exact same opinion as you. I know it's like a massive risk, and that KDB's been brilliant all season. But I think exactly as you've just said there, if there was a time to just move him on for a couple of game weeks, this was the time to do it. So yeah, I back you.
But just on that, I can see why you've sold him, but I don't think there was ever a time to move KDB on for just a couple of game weeks. Because I think now, with the value that we have, if you're selling KDB now, it's a lot to get him back for how much his price is now, for how much you're going to lose on selling him just for a couple of game weeks.
Yeah, you can always get him back in for Mane or Salah, whatever he wants.
I really wanted the Mane and Salah double up. Before Mane got injured, that's what I had. I had Mane, Salah and Trent. And I was going to keep that for ages until Liverpool's fixtures turned, which don't really turn until the end of the season. And I was literally going to hold that triple up, captain one or the other for a long time. That was my plan. So that Mane injury for a spanner in my works a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the way my team's structured and set up, I can get De Bruyne in very easily. It'd be either a one transfer using Mane or Salah, or a 2 transfer move with probably Aubameyang and Martial or something like that. It wouldn't be too difficult for me to get him back in if I needed to.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't think I will be doing until the fixture turns for City, or there's like a double game week or something like that. I think the fixture turn for City in about game week 31, and then they've got a run of greens till about 37. So yeah, I think that's too hard for me to get him in.
I love your team. It's so flexible because you can even do KDB to Mane and just take out Lascelles for Gomez and still have a triple.
Yeah, there's literally like this wildcard. I've really only had 2 templates, and it's only, well, I say templates, I mean like drafts. Two different types of teams. With my first wildcard early on in the season, I had about 30 different types of teams and so many players transferred in and out. But with this one, I'm pretty set on what I wanted to do, which fills me with confidence because, like, say my players all blank next game week, there's not really anyone else I wanted to get in besides these players. Like, it's more of a long-term strategy that I'm going for with this team. Like, if you look at all my players and all the fixtures, they've all got good fixtures for the next 5, 6, 7 game weeks. So, yeah, for the long term, and like you said, then the flexibility with this team is really good. And what I also wanted to do was prepare for the blank game week. So that's why I've kept the likes of Pope on my bench and things like that. Because the blank game week was really going to hurt me. If I didn't wildcard this week and I kept Aguero, KDB, I still had Aubameyang, I still had double Sheffield, things like that.
You're going to have to rewind all the way back 3 hours just to listen into what we've been talking about. But the question by, who was it here just 2 seconds ago? Gavin Gould, a regular contributor to the show here. Ings captain, is that for real, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm definitely considering it. I mean, it's most likely going to go on Salah because I'm going to try and play.
Doing a king cunt there, bottling it. Come on.
Yeah, I might bottle it, to be honest. But I think I think if he wasn't going to go with a Liverpool midfielder, Ings is the best option. Ings is the third best, we'll say, behind Mane and Salah. And I think he could even outscore him, to be honest. But I think Mings is going to be back, and that's just scoring getting a haul. I think he's going to score anyway, but I'm looking for haul potential to outscore Mane and Salah.
DV responding to something that I said.
Pretty bad, by the way.
Say that again, Con.
Yeah, Ings' XG has been terrible for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's a risk. I mean, DV responding to what I said earlier, evidently been listening in, and saying that regarding when I mentioned about somebody in the top 10,000 of Jason's stream saying that they're going to captain Jimenez, it's him, DV. That'd be me. 10,000. I've got Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, Ings, Aguero in my squad, but I'm captaining Jimenez. He's going to get a hat trick this weekend. What about that, Lewis? If you are thinking differential, you've got Jimenez in your team, maybe captaining Jimenez instead.
Yeah, I mean, I have had the captaincy and vice captaincy on him, just twiddling about in my team and going through options. I have had it on him, but I don't know. Norwich against the tough teams, they always pull a result. I mean, I'm pretty sure Leicester played Wolves. They got a 1-1 draw, didn't they? They played Leicester. They got a draw. They played Liverpool really tough. Obviously, they beat City earlier in the season. So I'm not sure whether that's the... Yeah, at home. Yeah, of course. Norwich are really bad away from home.
Yeah.
But he's... Sorry, go on.
Well, I was going to say, no, to carry on, and then I'll ask the question.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure it's the better option out of Ings and Salah, really. It's between for me.
Well,
yeah.
How set are you on this specific team?
100% set. I'm not going to change it at all.
This is your...
I love that move. I'd definitely be up for making that move, especially with the blanks and the doubles. Bolly looked class, both defensive-wise and attacking-wise.
Yeah, I do agree. And it's just whether Ndidi gets back early or not. Because if Ndidi's not back, I don't want a Leicester defender. If he is, I want one. So it's a bit of a dodgy one, but I do think Bolly's a great shout.
Yeah, I'd still back Bolly, to be honest.
Honestly, that's the only move I'd consider making.
Yeah.
So for people listening on audio, if you don't actually know that this is Lewis's team, he was... Just remind us of your rank of last 3 games ago. 32,000, did you say?
32k, 79k, and then as of now 66k.
So 66,000 is wildcard team in full. Henderson, Lascelles, Egan, Alexander-Arnold, Mane, Martial, Salah, Traore, Aubameyang, Jimenez, Ings on the bench, Nick Pope, Stevens, Barnes, and Sunche. It's a beautiful team. I'll find it fascinating if City do get a double game week, because then you're obviously going to be wanting to bring in City assets. You'd think Kevin De Bruyne for obvious reasons, potentially Jesus, Aguero, but it seems like you've got quite easy swaps there. You've just said that you're pretty much settled on your team full stop. Will there be, though, any panic moves tomorrow, or do you think, nope, I am, this is it, I'm just going to sleep, wake up at 12 o'clock and everything will have passed?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's not going to be any panic moves, like I said, beside Bolly. Well, soon due to Bolly. That's the only thing I'm considering doing. Everyone else is 1,000,000% staying. There's absolutely no chance anyone else is getting transferred out unless there's an injury or something like that. That's the only thing that would sway me off him.
Fascinating. Very, very interesting thoughts indeed. Right then, everybody. Now, once again, I always say this. It's the final leg of the show. We've been I've just tweeted that we've been basically going for 3 hours, which is an extraordinary effort. And I know Llama obviously has been here virtually since the beginning. I know FPL Tips has been here, and all you guys have been here since 4:30 in the afternoon. It's now basically 7:30, which is like I said, quite an extraordinary. We haven't done this since the summer. This has been absolutely incredible. So, like I say, you can say whatever you like, obviously within the rules of what we always suggest. So I'm going to have to do this in chronological order as it's come up on Discord. But FPL Tips, Enjoy the Chelsea game tomorrow. You're going there live. Do you have any words to say to the Elite FPL community right now, or people listening on YouTube before we let you go?
No, just keep up the good work. I hope they all get green arrows. If you're
No,
all still
you
bored,
don't. Come on.
I do. I'm behind everyone here that's not going to be different. But if any of you are still bored at 8 o'clock tonight, I will be doing my own stream on YouTube, so you can
And
join.
how do we find you, FPL Tips? How do you find you?
Sorry?
How do we find you for your YouTube channel?
It's just
Plug it.
FPL Tips on YouTube, just as you would expect, the same username on YouTube.
And that's with a Z, isn't it?
Yes.
Put it in the chat, my friend, and everybody will go over to there.
Thank you.
Cheers, dude. Speak to you soon, mate. There we are. There's FPL Tips with a Z. He's going to be doing a stream on YouTube. If you want to continue talking all things fantasy football, head over to his channel. Lewis, we've just heard from you 6 seconds ago. Do you have any final thoughts before we let you go?
Final thoughts. # play your own game. Honestly, that's the biggest thing I can tell you. Just trust your gut. Don't let anyone sway your decision, because that's affected me a lot this season already. # play your own game.
There we are, everybody, and I completely concur with that as somebody that's doing really crap this season. And I just think stick to what your gut
just ending
says.
the stream how you started it. Eh?
Yeah, we're going full bloody circle. Anish, you're up next. Final thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah, just like to say to everyone, just don't overthink it. Just follow what you think is correct. And I'd also like to say that I've really enjoyed the Llama Lounge over the last 2 trial sessions. So
tell us, Anish, what do you like about it? What's your favourite? Well, yeah, what do you like about the Llama Lounge?
I just think it's quite interesting hearing everyone's reaction to the games live in real time, because it's sometimes your judgment after the game is a bit cloudy. So if you have it in real time, like when it's actually happening, you get the raw emotion of what people are feeling through the game, and it translates into the FPL team, for example.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you, and I'm sure there'll be, and Llama will tell us in a second anyway. But Anish, cheers, dude, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you. There we are. There's Anish there. King Kun, any final thoughts?
No, I just want to say I think you got Jason covered by the end of the season if you use your chips right.
On that note, I hope so, my friend. Cheers, dude.
Have a good one. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, thank you, King Kun, with his expertise. Which leaves us with Llama and Dan, but I want to keep them on afterwards because I want to have a private conversation with them, so I'm not going to let them leave per se. But Llama, do you have any final thoughts before we end the stream?
Just don't get confused between my personality and my attitude. My personality is who I am. My attitude depends on who you are.
Couldn't agree more. Very much airing my sentiments there. In fact, I may just nick that sentiment. Dan, you got any final thoughts?
Well, I'm going to be contradictory to what everyone said. I want you to take more hits than Tyson Fury is going to take tomorrow. I want you to go for all the players that you shouldn't go for. And I think that Fleck is going to get a double-digit haul as well, my friend.
There we are. There we are. Right then, everybody. Shall I talk about my team? Nah, can't be bothered. Waste of time. If you wanna hear about my team, I'm just gonna plug it. Just pay $4.99 for a Playmaker membership, and you'll hear all about my team because I don't need to talk about it. It's there up on screen. Whoever I captain, just do the opposite. So basically, I'm captaining Mane. Everybody captains Salah. Other than that, we have passed the 3-hour mark by 1 minute. Congratulations, everybody. I will say thank you to Bilal, Ray Joyce, another epic stream. No, thank you, pal. FPL 442 has been here since virtually the beginning as well. I know there's lots of others that have been here since minute 1. Quite extra. I didn't expect us to go on for 3 hours, but there we are. That is what our show's all about, bringing the community together and just chatting all things fantasy. In fact, I think that stream is probably longer than Planet FPL Live 3 tomorrow's day. And I cannot wait to be hearing about that from our good friends Phil and Brew, because obviously they're going to be up there live. It'll be really, really interesting to hear what this is. Salt Side had to miss half the stream, but we'll catch up on replay. Thanks as ever, guys. No, thank you, Salt Side. Really do appreciate your support as ever. Other than that, everybody, I'll just do the quick admin. Llama, you're going to learn from this. Actual fact, Danny boy, let's let you do some talking. You can do the admin if you want.
So, guys, if you want to subscribe, like, comment, share, and all those good things, please do so. Show your appreciation for the stream. Over 3 hours of quality FPL content. Also, follow Stevo and Jason at Elite FPL on Twitter. You can also check out the Instagram account for Elite FPL at Elite FPL, which is monitored and managed by my good self. And yeah, just thanks for having me on, and stay tuned for the breakfast show tomorrow morning with Saint Stevo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget the app.
Yeah, exactly. Llama, I just realised this. I do want to make a quick final plug that regarding Jason's app, the Elite FPL app that Jason has so brilliantly designed. So just to round up the show one more time. Hey guys, our app is now live on the Play Store. Please help support us by downloading and keeping up to date with the show. So basically just click the link that Jason's put on Twitter at Elite FPL, and you'll be able to find that link for all that. Other than that, everybody, all I'll say is have a good evening and a good night, and see you. Oh yeah, of course. What we're doing tomorrow. So yes, I am going to be doing a morning stream. I have no idea when it will be, so just stay tuned on Twitter for that. I reckon at a random guess it'll be about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And then, of course, Jason, I believe, is doing the 3 p.m. kickoffs, possibly. And then I'll be coming back home at some point and I'll be doing the Leicester Man City game. But what I can tell you is this. I ain't going to have a clue what the results are going to be at 3 o'clock. So basically, I will be doing almost like a match of the day challenge and reacting live to what's actually happened to the 3 p.m. kickoffs. And just one final plug, FPL Tips, that's Tips with a Z, will be doing a stream on YouTube in 25 minutes, 8 o'clock. So go over to his channel and talk all things fantasy football. Other than that, everybody, have a good evening. See you later. Cheers, Llama. Cheers, Dan, and cheers, everybody.
Thanking you. Take care.